Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The LA Valiant just pulled off the clean sweep over the Shanghai Dragons 4-0, and that's 8 maps in a row so far this stage for the LA Valiant. I know you guys are pretty happy about that. I wonder if they can catch up with the Houston Outlaws stage 1 record for consecutive maps. It'd be interesting to see if they can get anywhere near that. Anyways, moving on to our final match of the night. You guys ready for this one? It's a big one. We got the San Francisco Shock going up against the Seoul Dynasty. Now the Shock, they're a revamped team. They got all their players there, and they've actually come out the gates pretty strong so far this stage. They had a great victory against the LA Gladiators earlier this week, so they're gonna be looking to continue that momentum. As far as the Seoul Dynasty, they've actually been struggling lately. They ended the last stage with a loss against the Houston Outlaws, and then they began this stage with a 0-4 loss to the LA Valiant. So they're gonna be looking to stabilize themselves. They got their key players back today, so there's a good chance that this match is going to be highly competitive. Guys, this is the last match of the night. Get hyped. Get hyped. It's going to be awesome. And with that, why don't we go ahead and get into the action with Puckett and the boys at the desk.
Thank you so much, Malik. That's right. Keep it going, Blizzard Arena. It's Friday night. We're partying here. That's what we do. We got Seoul, we got San Francisco, and if we saw this in stage 1 or stage 2, I would probably not get as hyped as I am right now. But this is a totally new San Francisco Shock. Well, I fixed whatever's in my throat.
Don't
Brent,
worry about that.
Tell me about this squad. How are they on the up and up? What's going on with this
Shock,
squad?
man. They are looking spicy right now. These recent additions, like Malik was saying, they are revamped across the board, and it all starts with Super. This guy has been introduced into the team, and he is honestly fantastic. He's filled in the weaknesses that the team had before in the past. Realistically, has given them such a burst of life in this roster, along with the rest of their additions as well. But the fact that they now have a very solid main tank player has done absolute wonders for them, so much so that I would honestly say that this is definitely now a playoff capable team, whereas we wouldn't really have dreamed of saying that in stage 1 or stage 2. But it's not also Super. You've also got alongside Dante and Sinatra, these 2 additions coming in. I mean, mainly Dante, because this is the guy realistically everyone is talking about. He's one of the guys who's had one of the most rapid increases in skill since the league has begun. Now he's specializing on the Sombra role, and it's honestly helping out the entire San Francisco Shock team in spades across the board, because now we're in a Sombra meta. So, you know, it comes and goes, but Shock, I think finally this is their time to start getting some wins under their belt.
And this is the moment they've been waiting for, right? We finally got to see Sinatra the last week of stage 2, Super now 18. Dante, though, he's really stepping up in that Sombra. What is the scariest part of the San Francisco squad in your eyes, Crumbs?
I think it's the fact that their Sombra play is a little bit more practice than anybody else. Dante has been playing this for multiple stages before, and as Bren mentioned, his skill has increased meteorically. And what that means is that he's likely going to be a better Sombra than anybody else just because he has more reps in the hero. And that's a big advantage when it comes to the Sombra versus Sombra matches. Fighting over health packs, whoever knows the mind games better has a big edge.
San Francisco had a terribly slow start to the season, but they have all of their players they want available, and it seems they're adding even more firepower to the roster. For more info on it, we have Zoe down on the floor.
Thank you so much, Puckett. Yeah, you know what? Just an hour ago or so, San Francisco Shock made a tweet. It was super subtle, very low-key, where they basically just said, like, hey, Seoul Dynasty, we might see Architect tonight. Not to give anything away, but, you know, that may or may not happen. So let's not say they didn't give the Seoul Dynasty a fair warning that we finally get to see Architect on this stage, making his debut, maybe or maybe not, tonight. Let's hear it from the desk. What does this young man bring to the table?
Great question, Zoe, and I want to start here with Bren. You've watched this guy quite a bit. You've seen his VODs. What is Architect's best hero?
So he brings in a formidable Genji, right? Which is mainly the thing that they've been missing.
You have one too, right?
No. I mean, the recent clips would suggest otherwise, but I do like to harp on about it. We're not going to talk about my Genji here because it's embarrassing, and frankly, I'm quite upset. But he does bring a wonderful Genji sort of style as well that they've been missing for quite some time. Dante's been trying to fill in that role here and there, but it's never really been on the level of some other Genjis in the league, like EQO, for example, just to throw out a random name that is also up on the top list, in my opinion. So it does add a bit of a foundation now that they can start running more solid dive composition.
Anyone want to see Architect tonight? Some of you guys don't know him. Hopefully we get to meet him. We'll see if that plays out a little bit later, but let's talk about Architect's opponent. Seoul Dynasty was one of the scariest squads in the league. When the whole league came together, people saw this roster and said, this is the team to beat. They missed Stage 1 playoffs, they missed Stage 2 playoffs, and now they go 0-4 against the Valiant. Should we be concerned, Crumbs?
We absolutely should be, and I think we've come to 3 conclusions about what's going on with the Seoul Dynasty. Number 1, the main team is underperforming in practices, and as a result, they're fielding other players. Number 2, possibly they're going for that long con. They're trying to make sure that they actually secure themselves for the final playoffs and don't really care about the stage matchups. And number 3, they're just overthinking things. Perhaps they're actually not entirely sure of what to do against certain opponents and just overcomplicating things. No matter what, this team should be almost always in playoffs. They are not. They've failed twice, but at least today, they're fielding the best lineup that they have.
You got Fleta, you got Jaehong. I don't know what more you could ask for from 2 amazing players. We'll see if they get the win today. We look at the standings, Seoul clearly much higher than San Francisco. Are they the favorites, though, in this matchup?
I would honestly argue not. To be honest, the maps that we're seeing today are suiting San Francisco Shock much more. Well, I mean, we're looking across the board. Look at these win percentages. I mean, it seems very even on both Ilios and Junkertown, but Seoul Dynasty is a team that, in your eyes, in a lot of our eyes, should be having, you know, above 50% win rate on all of these maps. Instead, that's not the case. In fact, Shock is coming out ahead on every single map type here. So now we're moving into a meta game where Shock are more favored as well. Alongside it, I gotta say, they are looking like the favorites in this match.
This number's technically pretty darn close. Crumbs, do you agree with Mr. Bren here? Is Seoul the underdog?
I wouldn't say that there's an underdog for this matchup. However, I will say that Seoul is currently going down and San Francisco going up, and they might just meet at a game right now and a point where San Francisco Shock is going to be the stronger team. I don't know what Seoul's got in store, though. The main lineup is here. It takes 1 game to decide.
All right, Blizzard Arena, I see the players are getting ready. That means it's time to kick this baby off. Make some noise. It's Seoul Dynasty versus the San Francisco Shock.
Seoul dumping everything to finish this fight off.
And the Shock are going to capitalize. You know they will.
That's a huge stick from Munchkin. It's going to be a barrage for Fleta.
Oh, how about that, baby babe? What now? Who would have thought this would be so close?
Let's bring out the squad from Seoul. It's the Dynasty. The desk was pretty harsh, but I gotta say, this is one of my favorite teams in the league to watch. They're 14-7 overall. They're number 3 in the overall standings. Yes, they slipped up against the Valiant, but I think today's the day they get back on track.
Yeah, we've been sort of, you know, spelling doom and gloom for Seoul Dynasty, but that's not the case at all. These guys are still pro veterans, champions, if you will. And I mean, they have... Whoa, what is going on here?
Oh.
Team huddle, soul fighting, I think it might be. But I mean, like we said, these guys, they were the best team in the world. I still think they're more than capable of being the best team in the world. They have great players across the board in almost every single role. We know what they can do. It's just up to them to turn up.
And as we take a look here at the stage, Crumbs, look at this starting lineup. You can see Miro back as in here as our main tank. It looks like Toby, Jaehong back in the mix. They're not going to be playing Gambler today.
No, they're not. This is a good sign, seeing Toby and Jaehong back in the lineup, but on your screen, Wakid. Typically, you see Munchkin starting, but the fact that we're going to Temple of Anubis for your first match means that Wakid's Junkrat is almost certainly going to be the reason why he's here.
Yeah, interesting that they're actually trying to field him in here, but I mean, understandable, and there you go. Almost the poster boy, really, of the Seoul Dynasty. It is. It's fabulous, isn't it? Ryu Jaehong, once again, I'm expecting him to be making some big plays alongside Zumba, one of the best off-tanks in the league.
Zumba playing the diva today instead of Zephyr. Nice to see him back on the stage, but this is the guy I think all eyes are going to be on. Fleta, a rock star. He's the playmaker. When we show you the highlights at halftime, expect half of them to be coming from that young man. This is a look at the new starting 6 for the Seoul Dynasty today. It's time to find out, though, who will they be playing against. Please welcome to the stage our squad from San Francisco. It's the Shock. An inverse of the Seoul Dynasty record. They're coming in with the number 9 seed. They've got 7 wins, 14 match losses, but today they're looking for number 8, and they're looking to stay on top of these Stage 3 standings.
Yeah, today's the day when they're looking to really turn this one around, and they're fielding the entire A squad in their mind. This is the squad that they have been trying to build, trying to field, but unfortunately the players have only just come of age right now in stage 3, and this is where they're looking to turn up a little bit. And I got to mention as well, as we're starting with the supports here, you got to give a shout out to them, because a quick reminder here as well, Sleepy is a rookie, right? He came into Overwatch League as the first time he was playing on the main stage, and the guy is honestly up there with one of the best Western Zenyatta players in the Overwatch League right now.
And he brings a pillow with him to the stage every time.
Really making that dream come true right now. You can go from ranked into professional league. There's a really straight path there for you, but what excites me about this game rather is that this is actually a potentially great measuring stick for the San Francisco Shock. If Seoul come out swinging the way we expect this lineup to do so, and Shock can beat them or hold a candle to it, that's gonna make the entirety of the stage so explosive.
There you got the 2 birthday boys turning 18 in the last month. Sinatra and Super bringing new energy to this squad. But as we highlighted it before, keep your eyes on Dante and that Sombra. The match is ready. Are you guys ready to go? Make some noise as we send it to our casters. It's Semler and Hex.
Thank you so much, Bucket. It is going to be the last match of the day. It's going to be Seoul versus San Francisco Shock, and already I'm excited because Sinatra, he's so pumped. Hex, he's already beating his teammates, trying to get them pumped as well. You see that at the end there? Just laying into Super.
The beatings will continue until morale improves, I believe, is the case.
He keeps them in a straight line, man. He keeps them on the tight and narrow.
This should be a good one because it's the swing in momentum for both teams. San Francisco on the upshot because they got these 2 new guys. They've eliminated some of the weaker parts of their roster. Seoul struggling to find something. The Seoul that we saw 2 days ago, not the Seoul team that they're fielding now, and that's a good thing heading into Temple of Anubis because they got shut out, completely held down by the Valiant.
Yeah, it didn't look pretty. It didn't look pretty, but hey, the thing is that now Seoul, they're just not holding back. They're saying, right, we need to come out the gate swinging. We're going to get our strong players in there. Wakid may be one of those situational players that they're just going to bring in specifically for this map, as Crumbs mentioned. So Seoul are still trying to figure it out, although I did like Crumbs' bit earlier on the 3 reasons that things could be, you know, a little bit on the fritz for Seoul.
What a weird phrase to even be saying, Seoul still trying to figure it out. It's just so odd. We expected so much more for this team, and San Francisco kind of expected to be where they are now. They knew that if they could just kind of keep their heads above water until they got to stage 3, that they might be able to make a run, and we'll see today. And we talk about
how they found their door, Hex.
Maybe. We talk about how important it is for Tracers and Winston to work together, and they were both on the bench team together. So they got very close, Super and Sinatra, so the coordination should definitely be there.
Yeah, that is kind of the key, you know, the best teams right now in the mix in terms of managing to find kills with the dive. You got London is the one that really comes to mind between Gesture and Prophet. Those 2 working together, it's monstrous to behold. So definitely keeping an eye on Super and Sinatra as that combo, looking to get in there and find the kills. Dante looks like he'll be starting on the Genji as well, so he'll definitely be wanting to join the party.
Okay, this is already good. Where Seoul really struggled on their offense was trying to deal with like what we call the Shetland pony, the little Sebastian. You get Orisa on the quasi-high ground there and set her up, and they just really struggled diving with it. Their supports were always late on the dive to try to help out the rest of their team, and now they don't have to face that because San Francisco is going to run a pure dive defense.
Pure dive, dive is looking like what we're going to get in just a moment here. Fleta, offensive Sombra could be an option to go for as well. Wakid will be on the Genji. Already a little bit of a poke, trying to figure out what they're going to be running into. Seeing a Diva may not be enough, but then the falling Winston out of nowhere. Yeah, that'll put them on notice. Seoul Dynasty now have a bit of an idea of what they're dealing with.
Just going to rotate and just play onto the point here, try to get as much progress as possible, see if Fleta can find backline targets here. Little late jump, little late rotation from San Francisco, and they're going to try to punish Super. They do just that. However, Super did take down Fleta beforehand, so it's an even trade.
The 1-for-1, but I'm loving Zumba, man. Just the snap decision to go in there for the kill. His spots his opening, takes it. Sleepy finds Jaehong, though. The other Zen is dead, and both of the supports just pocketing each other for San Francisco Shock. Moth making sure that Sleepy will not fall. So it's Zumba, a bit of a delayed kill there, but no Shock, really. And it will be the reset coming through. Not even a tick picked up for Seoul Dynasty, unfortunately for them.
We'll see if we see any changes from Seoul now that they know they're going against the very aggressive dive defense, which shouldn't really surprise anyone. It's like how San Francisco likes to play. And now they know exactly where they're going to be setting up. Fleta is still only 43% on an EMP. It's just such a different ballgame now.
Oh, that's big. That's the monster one. Figured there was a potential knockback there where he'd get ruined, but instead just hacks him to bits. Dante.
What an all-star he's been. He cut me off mid-sentence, cut Seoul in half mid-push there. Seoul's gonna have to go back to the drawing board. Fleta even though he was building his way towards an EMP, gonna flip off of it now, gonna go just to the Tracer here. Played a lot, not a whole lot of Tracer because he plays a lot with Tracer mains.
Exactly, doesn't really have to step onto it, so we'll see how he fares. Super finds Queen to kick things off. Eventually, I will say his name right in one go. And while you get Sinatra's perspective right now as he is trying to play from this point, the Primal has been used now by Miro, trying to just heap some kind of damage in, but really all you're doing is just admiring the point from the high ground, Miro.
Yeah, that's a very good question what he was trying to do there. I think he got stuck on one of the ledges over there too, ends up just feeding a bunch of alt charge, gets nothing out of it, cleaned up, was able to rejoin his team, but at a very low health pool. San Francisco will capitalize on it. They've got them stuck in this corner now, and I think Super's going to try to come around the other side.
And Dante's so quick as well. He's got the Dragon Blade up and running yet again for this next push if he wants to. Jaehong has just tapped the trance as well, so Dante could be feeling it, and sure enough, sees his opportunity, gonna just leap into it. Sound Barrier mitigating a lot of that damage though, and Wicked in the meantime has been the one to get something out of his blade. 2 kills for him.
He's played much sharper. They're able to take down both supports. Desperation time as they drop a self-destruct onto the point. Meanwhile, Sinatra does find himself a couple of kills. Just such a long walk to get back here. If the DPS can stay alive and just do the gentle dance on the point, then perhaps they can get back in and contest.
Only 2 here capping it, so it is taking quite a bit of time. Should be able to get in here and deny another tick. Yep, Sinatra gonna go ahead for the blink. So there is a contest going. Dante is here as well to tap it, but Soul will be able to sneak that second tick, and now it's all about denying this point take here for Seoul Dynasty. San Francisco Shock leaping into it. Zumba picked off immediately, and we even have Toby finding the kill on Moth.
Able to take him down, but it is San Francisco getting the better part of this still, and they're getting down to the last push from Soul, and if this one doesn't go well, they might need a full reset. It seems like they feel like they can take an uneven fight. Going back just a little bit. Yeah, it is time for the full reset. Only 30 seconds remain for their final push on a first point.
30 seconds remaining.
Wild to see Soul struggling just this much to be able to get in here, but right now San Francisco Shock, they all seem to be on the same page, working so well together. Dante nearly has the blade again. And well, already we've seen him do fantastic work with the ult. Super just taking a bit of a poke. They're doing a good job of just spreading out here, making it difficult for Soul to find that first pick. And while they are moving together now as a unit, Queen got he's got his blade. He's looking for Sleepy right now. Sleepy in the back line has been caught by Fleta. Sleepy getting forced out into the open, and Sleepy will be the first pick. No transcendence for this next fight, and that could mean the difference here.
They might res him. Moth just used Valkyrie, so if he can get to Sleepy, they can get the transcendent in this next fight, but that might just be it. That is it. Moth just popped his Valkyrie, and he dies the moment he does so. Tries to get Sleepy, that's it, and Soul has exercised some demons on point A of Anubis.
With Kid, man, by the time you're gonna get that res off, doesn't matter. They find the target that they were looking for there. Fleta gets the help of his team to just find the kill immediately on Sleepy. No trance to cancel out the blade. Now, Seoul Dynasty, man, by the skin of their teeth. 3 minutes 30 now to get the offense rolling on the B site. Jaehong's got his ult as well, and Zumba with the self-destruct. So they have some tools to use here, Seoul Dynasty, to try and crack this open.
No major changes on either side. It's going to be a battle of transcendence here. It's just a matter of if Jaehong can get onto the point before he has to pop it, or if he has to use the transcendence to escort his team to that point. Super pop Primal very early.
Yeah, not really going to get a whole lot out of it. Doesn't necessarily feed too much ult, though, either to Seoul Dynasty, so we will have just a little bit more time. Let off the clock, less than a minute. Toby with the wings, out blazing away, trying to lead the way here with the rest of his team. He's floating in the sky, just trying to keep him topped up. Zumba will launch a mech in deep. Not going to find any of the targets, though. Moth and Sleepy able to get around the corner, and in the meantime, Fleta on the point, looking for a pulse bomb target.
This is taking very long for them to get in a really good fighting position here. Fleta's still looking for more. Takes down Super, that's huge. They get on the point, the Transcendence should come out. Transcendence did come out from Jaehong during the middle of that fight to try to get it through here, but now Dante shuts it down.
Sick play from Dante. Forces them out. Oh, gotta be careful though, don't want to take too many shurikens to the face. Could end poorly for you. Wicked will try to get the reflect out, but Sinatra, relentless, hunts him down. Good stagger there. Further delaying things. This is gonna be Dante's perspective here as he basically just dismembers the back line for Soul. That's as quick as it gets.
Can we get a Genji skin with a pickaxe instead of a samurai sword? Former Minecraft pro, you know? Instead of building it up, he's tearing it all down. All right, only 2 minutes left because the first push took so long onto point A for Seoul Dynasty, and they burned everything that they had in that last fight. Sans the blade, although Toby's done a good bit of healing, so he's going to be near a Valkyrie again. I wonder if they'll wait for it, because that's why they were so patient the first time. They wanted to Valk in, try to get something going, and transcend much later.
Gotta be careful with this poke damage. Moth is getting fairly close enough. He's getting halfway to his ult and climbing out in the open. Bit of a dangerous situation. Nevic's able to force him back though, and Wicked, you can still see just hunting for targets, but in the meantime, Fleta, he's the one doing the work. Dante and Moth out of this. 2 quick kills for Seoul Dynasty and a golden opportunity now to make some real progress on this B point.
Should be some good stall though as the Primal Rage comes out. They're going to follow it up with a Transcend to keep them all healthy. So now they're in fine fighting form. Blade comes out though.
Yeah, as soon as that Transcend's used, Wicked is looking for a target. Going to be able to help getting that D-Mech. At least he has that to work with, but no solid kills to come out of it. We will have Zumba finding Nevix, so that's something to work with. And just damage everywhere, sheer out now chaos, and all from Wiki's perspective.
Doesn't matter, it's over. They just lost both of their supports. It would be a miracle if Soul's able to pull this off, especially with Super being resurrected. They're going to get a couple of kills, but no healing here. If the best they can hope for is to stall and maybe get their healers back into the mix, but these aren't mobile healers.
No,
See, Jayhawk switches, yeah, they both switched to mobile healers immediately, knowing that they're going to try to keep fighting this one. Try to get back in here. Jaehong is on Moira, Toby is on the Lucio, and they're going to continue this fight.
They did, but now Dante's going to be the one going in there. Hacks off Toby's head before Wikid can stop him. Zumba finds Moth, though, so a trade in terms of supports. Super needs to stay alive, and he's going to go ahead and pop Primal to do just that. And while the fight definitely continuing as Sinatra finds the stick on Miro. And Sinatra still hunting for targets, able to recall out of harm's way.
Great play there from Sinatra to make sure that the Diva danced a little bit to the left. He saw that his big target was available. You're not missing sticks on Winston most of the time. They get it there. Jaehong did so much in that fight on Moira. He's already got Coalescence.
10 seconds.
It's time to cross the streams.
I mean, it's time to show the way. Get that lighthouse blazing, and yeah, sure enough, there it is. Gonna be paving it out here for his team to get on to this point as we get into overtime now. Seoul Dynasty no longer allowed any errors. Sleepy used the trance though, so Wikid could be thinking he's got a golden opportunity now to get in here, start dismembering people with his blade, and Super, sure enough, gonna be dropping fairly low. Wikid instantly forced to replay, but there are the juicy targets, the ones he was looking for. Will find Sleepy, but the trades are still here for San Francisco Shock, and it's all on Fleta now to try and survive, and it's just not gonna happen.
Any bit of orange in that kill feed and it was all over. And San Francisco did such a great job of relentless pressure, even during the slow push of Seoul. They had people in the back line always picking off 1 or 2. And Anubis, like every assault map, but Anubis seems to stick out the most. You don't take it clean, you're not taking it. It's just not happening. You got to get the first couple of kills on your team or get resurrections, and they simply always lost 1 or 2 on the mix. They kept fighting to try to get their mobile supports in there. Even that fight took a little too long. So Seoul, they've always been kind of a passive, grind you down kind of team, but the best teams right now are just super aggro. I mean, we're in an aggro meta.
Yeah, we are actually. Oh, man, that's so up for discussion. Everybody's got a different.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a bit slower these days, and at the
Well,
same time, you've still got Dive just running in there trying to run people over.
Dive still is on defense and on offense and on every fence. So it's still pretty aggressive overall. Until we get to 4 tanks and a Moira in it, then we're still in aggro in my opinion.
There was hope. There was hope. We almost saw that meta move into it when Moira was in the play, but wasn't quite meant to be. You got Sinatra on your screen, definitely aggressive as far as Tracer play is concerned. He's constantly there to poke, although we will have a change from him. Dante going over to the Widow? Nah.
Well, I mean, if
could work.
Yeah, I mean, you want to run a Widow on offense, then he would be your Widow for this team right now. Generally, that'd be Baby Bay's role, but he's not on this map right now. Sinatra's Genji, I'm still up in the air on it. I need to see a little more of it. Of course, I've pretty much only seen Sinatra play Tracer. He is a Tracer player from the get-go. He came up on ladder in some of the smaller tournaments, really made his name there. We'll see how his Genji goes. What I do want to see, though, and this it was more of a point for the next map, when things go wrong for San Francisco, they stick to him a little too long. So if this isn't working, I like to see switches come in a little more swiftly. This makes a little more sense, though, right? A little Sombra from Dante.
Yeah, that's more to the role that's suited for him, it seems, on this team right now, at least. He was definitely the one who's pretty excited when Sombra was going to be making it in, or as far as the buffs were concerned. And so, in the meantime, we've got Seoul Dynasty set up with the high horse. Orisa shield up top with Fleta there, basically getting to run the shop. Hit all the shots at will, and sure enough, finds the headshot on Moth to kick things off. He's going to be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, Sinatra's just going to look for poke in here. I'd be super surprised if he does anything beyond this. They just lost both supports. There's nothing you can do. And now they're going to rotate around. Ooh, that's a late kill on a Dante. That's why you get out of there. Sinatra has to deflect just to try to get back to his team.
And then you got Wikid just lobbing grenades and to every doorway. Gonna make it even more difficult here to make any kind of progress on San Francisco's side of things, as Moth and Sleepy are handily cut off from the rest of their team. You will have Super turning his back, trying to avoid the headshot. And there you go, the opening that they needed. San Francisco Shock behind the tanks are able to push through, but Fled is still here to take shots, and now he can see through walls.
And that means that Sombra being invisible means absolutely nothing. Bye.
So sick. So sick. Just, hey, we see you coming from a mile away. Zumba's there to actually get in and collect that final blow.
It's a little bit rough. It looks like they're trying to reset up on the high ground here. Yeah, they've got Orisa over there. They also know exactly where the San Francisco Shock want to attack from. There's no surprise that when you see the Orisa on the high ground, everyone's going to rotate through pack room, and all the mobile heroes are going to come up over top on pack room. So I see a little pressure back here from Zumba. It's just about resetting.
Eventually they will make their way through. Sinatra is going to get in through the back line, though, so we'll see if he can find a target. And yeah, sure enough, he will find the kill on Wakid to kick things off. We still have Zumba with the self-destruct, though. Can just, drop that out in the open. That's going to make life a little bit interesting here for San Francisco Shock. Playing with the positioning, and you can see just full white going off in the kill feed. Fleta doesn't survive Dante.
I have no idea how Super survived as long as he did, but all for naught right there. They will have their support ultimates going into it, and also EMP. EMP with Dragon Blade is ridiculous because there's going to be no boops away, no mobility, no shields, nothing to stop it.
What do you got? Well, already, look at them. They're just getting chunked down to half before they can even get close to the point. We will have the remech coming in from Nevix. So the Diva mech is back in play. Dante, oh man, dropping dangerously low. 34 HP on him.
He's
at risk, and there it is.
Yeah, he went in through a mine, which means he's going to be visible too, so there's no escape there for Dante. They might have to just reset off of this. You don't want to really lose more or feed any more into this. And you kind of really want that EMP to come in. Now you have EMP into self-destruct as well as an option.
Unless they can force this transfer right now. Jaehong still floating in the back line, super far back. Just willing to chuck out orbs and play it safe.
Nevix is...
He's trying to, he needs to dodge. Jaehong right now is just worried about that EMP. Where is it going to come from? He needs to be quick with the reaction time.
Oh, this could be dangerous. Supports are trying to come in left side. No angles here for Sinatra. They're going to Valk in.
Nice headshot, and there you go. Not going to get anything out of it. Wakid with the double tire. Dante and Sleepy out of it. And we're down to 40 seconds on the clock now for San Francisco Shock. I mean, when you're dead, you're not using your ults. So you got that going for you if you're San Francisco Shock. You still have one push left, and you have 4 ults to work with, and Super has nearly got his primal as well.
No Valkyries for either team now. They're both just burned. San Francisco, it's time for everyone to mash Q, and you can't lose someone like that immediately. Super was so close to primal rage as well. They have no option, though, but to go with it.
They got to try and get in here and make some magic happen. Moth is gone as well. That's not going to help things. Sinatra finds the D-Mac, and Toby, here we go. They're turning it around. Zumba's dead. And Sinatra trying to bait out the shot with the jiggle peaks, but they have managed to make this happen. San Francisco Shock, doesn't matter that Jaehong just used his trance. This is a fight that they can win.
A little ring around the rosy there. Jaehong will finally go down in San Francisco.
Unbelievable. Both teams are getting the first point in overtime.
I guess first point is a 6-ult point nowadays. You just need them all. They hit absolutely everything that they had. Moth is going to go over to a Lucio here. Actually, he had switched to it to get back in the fight. We'll go back to the Mercy instead to charge this up. Both teams with very little to work with. See if either wants to go in. I mean, you have to just try to get some charge here, but I wonder how good a track San Francisco has kept to the ult of the other team. If they know where they're at, they should just be full rushing this.
This is where you're not really having too much fun if you're sleepy. Miro will splatter Sinatra, so that's something to work with. Super taking a peek here into the back. Eventually just going to take some orbs to the face. Jaehong there to deliver.
Jaehong with double kill there late. Taking a peek, didn't like what he sees. They will reset. No changes really for either side. Sinatra, of course, will go on to that Tracer instead. So you've got a Tracer Sombra, which get used to hearing that.
Yeah, that is kind of the game plan for San Francisco Shock. Get the Tracer on Sinatra, let him go to work. Dante is there as well. Dante's got that EMP, and so we'll see if he can sneak his way in. Yep, there we go. Translocate. He's got the cloak going as well. Hunting for the squishies. Exactly who he was looking for. Perfectly done. Jaehong annihilated immediately.
Is there anyone back there with him, though? You know that's where the supports are going to be in the back. They don't camp the body, so Jaehong's back into this.
Right, but what a monster tire. All 3 perfectly done by Wakid.
Michelin accomplished. 3 kills from that huge tire right there. They will hold on to this a little over 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll give that tire a 3-star, I think. Yeah, definitely. That was a tasty old.
3 stars. All right, both Transcendents up for the next fight. See how they want to get in. I actually liked when they were on the Lucio. A lot of teams have been using Lucio very well as just an initiation to get through the door without eating too much damage, get into fighting position. They might do the same as Soul did on their first push and wait for Valkyrie to do that.
Fleta right now hunting. Yep, they are going to collapse onto Super. Super with the Primal, but still with Discord. He could get blown up immediately, and yep, doesn't matter if you got 1,000 HP when you're getting hard focused like that.
Nice.
Super will get res though. That was a ballsy play coming through there from Moth. Manages to pull it off. Has the Valk as well. We'll be able to get the chain healing out. This is it, the moment here for San Francisco Shock where they can make it all happen.
Oh, Sinatra loses his duel with Jaehong. That might hurt them. Tracer's so good at these cleanup situations. Still no permanent progress set here. Getting some kills. Miro trying to buy some time. No one really fighting on the point though. It's contested. No progress.
They're all over the place right now. Dante, once again, that EMP going out. Might be able to play off of it as Wakid yet again trying to get value for the tire. Finds a monkey. That'll do. Hey, well, Seoul Dynasty, despite it all looking so good for San Francisco Shock, they hold and not a single tick of progress made there for San Francisco.
Okay, they're gonna go and change their supports as well. Sleepy and Moth will change over to Moira and Lucio respectively. It's a little bit late because you probably won't get a sound barrier up unless you're playing pretty aggressive with it, only a minute. Maybe he'll be prioritizing healing while Sleepy will be prioritizing damage, trying to get coalescence up. It's could work out for them if they can just play it out long enough.
Oh, there's the boost. Pulse attempted. Not going to find it. Fleta, though, will be able to get the super down. And well, here we go. That's a juicy target that he's looking for there, Fleta. Managed to pressure it up. Yep, exactly.
You have time to reset. You can get out. They will do just that one more time around the block. Super will be there for stall out as well, because he'll have Primal Rage. Maybe Sinatra can find the Pulse Bomb of Glory, but Transcend's gonna be there. Maybe just force out the Transcend too.
They could.
It's so hard as Tracer gets a Junkrat here. You never know where traps are. Angles are so strange. You need one nade and you pretty much have to go home.
Well, Fleta has to recall, so that's one advantage they're gained in the Tracer battle for Sinatra. Still gonna be pressuring on the side. Got that Pulse as well. Could be looking for him in the back left corner. Does get spotted out by the tanks, but he's got one target in sight. Trance is out as well here. Throwing everything into this fight, Seoul Dynasty. They know this is the Hail Mary play now coming in from San Francisco Shock. Sinatra still trying to make it happen, and the tire will find yet again another target. Sinatra is out of it.
They're gonna do their best, but it is not looking grand for the San Francisco Shock. They lost Sleepy. He took a dirt nap to begin this fight. I don't think they're gonna have the horses to ride this home.
Sleepy is thinking about it, man, but it is not gonna happen for him. He can't make it onto the point. And in a week where it seems like teams have been doing a great job adapting to tires, shutting down tires, Wakid, if this is the only map he played for Seoul Dynasty, he certainly delivered. Just monster ult after monster ult.
They had really no good answer for it. Wakid was the one who got that very important kill onto Sleepy during that last push. Absolutely shut them down. Yeah, when you don't have a Widow, it's really hard to kill tires. Widows have been the ones crushing tires, Zenyatta's have been crushing tires, and despite Dante with some good plays, as close as it was, Soul pulls it out.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
The damage available. And Moira has so much ability to be able to just get away from players like Linkser on the Tracer. Now getting very close, building up the ult, and there it is. Oh, okay, the coalescence coming out here. Jaehong's just giving the Houston Outlaws a good hosing down. Oh, they're clean indeed. But that push from Soul was nothing but dirty.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. We're getting into map 2 now, Seoul Dynasty. As you guys can see, they're up 1-0 right now. And the score, is this the expected result though, Hex? Because somebody was saying, hey, this is San Francisco's time to shine.
Yeah, Monty was absolutely saying that. You're absolutely correct that Monty predicts San Francisco to win this match. He said it in private, so I don't know why you're making me out him right now. As everyone knows that he's been rooting for Korea nonstop, but we think San Francisco has a shot at it. Like, the map pool is not great for Seoul. I'm a little surprised at the result that we got on the first one there. And I just think San Francisco's been looking so much better when you bring in Super. Everyone was so excited about Sinatra, but everyone we talked to on San Francisco said Super's our guy. And yeah, I think San Francisco's still got a shot at it. It's Blizzard World. Who knows what's going to happen in Blizzard World?
Well, yeah, because developers run the place. They got to keep you guessing, Hex. They got to keep you guessing. You never know. You think you're going to go to this, think you're going to go to that. No, never mind. Guys, we're going to go ahead and actually take a look at Fleta now and see what he was up to.
한국의 남양주에서 왔습니다.
If you're gonna beat Seoul, you have to stop Fleta.
제가 가장 좋아하는 영웅은 파라이고 파라를 가장 좋아하는 이유는 다른 캐릭터들과 다르게 하늘도 날아다니면서 좀 재밌게 즐기시고 데미지도 세가지고 좋아합니다.
Another direct hit coming out of Fleta onto Surefour.
프로를 시작하게 된 계기는 친구가 먼저 프로를 시작하게 되었는데 친구의 권유로 팀을 입단하고 그때부터 프로를 시작하게 됐습니다.
The guy has had a monstrous performance so far.
That is insane.
일단 최종 목표는 우승입니다.
This guy is an early contender for the Overwatch League Season 1 MVP. He's a joy to watch.
Oh, there we go. Fleta. I mean, he likes Farah. She throws rockets. She does damage. You know what else is happening, guys? Just in case you're wondering why we have a little bit of a stumble here, a little bit of a delay, we do have a sub coming through, and that is going to be Munchkin subbing in for Wakid going into the next match.
Yeah, I believe that's what I saw. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm like 95% sure.
Well, no, it's great because then I get to throw production on the bus for this. It's just telling me in my ear. Yep, there we go. Munchkin is going to be subbing in for Wakid. So, guys, just a little bit of just sorting out a tech snafu real quick, and we'll be getting into the second map of this series. A little bit of time to breathe here for San Francisco, get things on board, get things on plan.
Yeah, sure. And, you know, you bring in Munchkin so they can play Tracer. I think she's a good hero. I heard she might be becoming meta soon.
I heard she was like, yeah, she's right there. She must be good.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't actually see. There's nothing here. This is just green to me.
What?
But, you know, I'm imagining a Tracer right there.
You've broken the illusion.
Breaking the fourth wall. I'm looking at you guys right now, and then I'm looking back. Yeah, we are actually standing in front of a green screen, guys. It looked great. But Blizz World is going to be the next one.
Yeah, and still trying to kind of figure out this map. I think that it could end up being a very good Diva map. Well, every map's a good Diva map right now. But for those self-destructs, we saw Seagull earlier with a giant play to keep his team alive towards that last point, towards those respawns. And it's just about trying to find entry. I liked when the teams were playing very aggressive on that very first hold. Like the defensive team to not even let them in. You know, don't play back on the point, play in the hallways. It's a bunch of hallways.
It's a bunch of hallways.
Yeah.
What happens in hallways?
You die. You die fighting.
Are they
in
as bad
hallways.
as basements?
No, nothing's as bad as fighting in a goddamn basement.
Yeah, this first point as well is pretty basement-like in its construction. It's tough to get the Kraken to just break in there and crack the defense open. And then, yes, pylon terrace is where, at least as far as Blizzard World is concerned, this is where we've seen a lot of the offenses start to stumble, not really quite able to make it around the bend over here towards that second point cap.
Yeah, and it's simply because the defender's advantage is so strong right there. You're respawning right there. The offense takes forever. The respawns are still something that teams are going to figure out. It just becomes like a natural timing, knowing like, is someone going to be back? Should we pull back? Do we not have the advantage here? There are too many respawns. And honestly, the defender's respawn on first is really long. Like if you die on first, even as a Tracer, you're going through like 6 blinks to get back over there, and none of it feels like a very good or efficient path to get back. So early kills for the offense can be good, but they don't have the easiest path to get to first too. It's a long walk to fight onto first here.
It's a long walk for everybody. But hey, man, the map looks great.
It is
You get your time to kind of look around, you know, no rush. Still get back in. You go for a reset.
I'm a fan of anything with balloons.
Really?
No.
I was about to say.
I just
really
made that up. I saw a balloon and I was like, I just say that. And the moment I said it, like, yeah.
You're like a Ron Swanson kind of character to me, where you just like take a pin and just, you know, a balloon here, balloon, and you pop it immediately, Hex, because no fun allowed.
Yeah, I bring a permit that just says I can do what I want.
Exactly, while eating a steak. All right, we're getting into it here as Munchkin is taking point. Munchkin actually going to be rocking the Roadhog to kick things off as, hey, we do actually have a bit of the tank meta coming into play.
They're going to rotate onto high ground. They're going to play this with a Sombra. So it's interesting that they're playing with the Sombra and on the side of the map where there's not really a whole lot of packs to abuse, but that's not really her mechanic anymore. Helps out for some healing, but not for that EMP charge. They're just going to try to tiptoe onto this point, take this right corner.
Jeez, speaking about getting abused, Miro, he got lit up at the beginning there. Great healing coming through, however, from Jaehong, and look at how close Jaehong is now to that Coalescence. Could have it for this fight. It's up, yep, sure enough, already the Lighthouse blazing away. San Francisco shocked now on the back foot, trying to put up some kind of a fight here on point A, but they're getting wiped out.
That max range hook really disrupted everything to start it off. Super and Sinatra with the new additions, the first subtractions in this fight. And they will continue to clean up. There's almost no way that they're going to be able to put a decent fighting force out here because the respawn's so far away.
Look at all this healing getting cranked out. Already up to 40% on another Coalescence if you wanted it, Jaehong. That's beastly.
That's very nice. I really like their approach there, to take the high ground, make sure there was nothing up here to really stop them, then just touch onto the point, play it slow and steady, and look for those hooks. That's why you're running a Roadhog, is to try to get the hook and then get a pick. You can hook and hack. There's a lot of different combos, but essentially if you hook someone at the professional level, they're likely going to die.
Well, Dante, he's going to die of boredom back there if he doesn't get into the fight pretty soon. Still hanging around in the back line with that EMP, setting it up, could have the perfect targets here back, but yes, Fleta not going to be able to deny him in time. They will be able to get the EMP off, but the sound barrier used just in the nick of time there by Tobin to keep his teammates alive.
And here comes that self-destruct right around the corner. Everyone's going to have to hide out. Nevix is going to return in kind, bounces it off the wall. Nevix still working out his angles too. Meanwhile, Sinatra did fall during that fight, so with an advantage in another Lighthouse.
It's nuts. Jaehong, how quickly he's able to get his ult up and running. Damage and healing all in one beam. And well, Sleepy, what are you doing there, Sleepy?
Sleeping.
Yeah, he definitely taking a dirt nap now. Well,
Moth and Sleepy both gone into this fight. Still just trying to get some progress on the payload. They will get the good respawn, so defense can actually just take their time and set up here. Moth and Sleepy both with support ultimates, but Miro has the Shatter in hand.
They're just ready and waiting, and whoa!
Another hook.
That was insta-give on Super.
Oh, and this is so cool. The whole hog pushing everybody off very close. Fleta gets hacked himself. Oh, huge Shatter!
There's the Shatter, but the trance is there to keep his teammates alive, although that's not going to save Sinatra with the charge. Splattered against the wall. Moth caught by Zumba as well. And already things not really shaping up too hot here for San Francisco Shock on this second point hold. They are contesting. They've stopped Seoul Dynasty for now, but it is going to roll through. 2 points on the board here for Seoul Dynasty and a whole bunch of ults to work with as well.
Jaehong just doing so much. Call him Virginia Wolf. We're going to the Lighthouse yet again. Zumba's gonna have self-destruct to go with it. Fleta still holding on to that EMP. EMP into a self-destruct could just close out this map.
That could be brutal is what it could be. And he's finding these delayed kills as well. Sleepy not gonna be happy about that, but at least there was some time here for San Francisco Shock to go for the reset. Tyre is gonna come blazing through. Now it's a question of who can kill it quick enough. EMP is there! And Munchkin and Jaehong blown to bits. Quick follow-up on Miro as well, and that is Seoul Dynasty going for the hard reset.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. It's such a hard map to even get to the second point, and then the third point is a little claustrophobic. It's so dark in here, I'm frightened.
It is big gloomy.
I am waiting for the Lighthouse, because I'm just a little scared. You know, night lights.
It's king. Now you can tell it's a monarchy that's on the decline. It has been for a long time.
Hey, let's keep politics out of this one.
Where is Fleta gonna use his EMP? Not gonna, did he get the hack off? Whatever, the EMP is out, so he's just going for the blitz mode. Will find the opening. Dante on the high ground, under pressure here from Zumba. Barely hanging in there, but no, not for long. His tank not able to back him up enough there. Super, or Nevix rather, not able to make it happen.
Yeah, but meanwhile, while Nevix is up top, they're still making some decent progress on this card. 2 and 3 pushers at a time. And now just going all the way to the back. Gets Baby Diva Zumba. Taking out his opposing number easily.
Well, there's Sinatra. Wow, well, it's tough to hit. It is going to be very tough to hit a Moira with a Tyre. You got Fade up, you can just blink right out of there.
You shouldn't even bother, in my opinion. You should find another target that's a more higher chance of success.
Yeah, it's not meant to be. Munchkin right now, just pushing him against the wall. Another EMP in play here for Dante, but there it is. Zumba, the double kill with the self-destruct. Moth will bring Sinatra back. Still one player laid low, and they are making a lot of progress here. Seoul Dynasty right on the edge of collecting 3 points on Blizzard World.
Even when you hack a Moira, she's still able to use her abilities. It's much better that if you're going to run someone with a Lucio, you have to have someone to be able to heal if the whole team gets EMP'd. Deadeye comes out through the Transcendence and Moth!
Wow, just talk about the perfect target to go for the kill there. Fletta's going to be grinning ear to ear on that one. Tyre going through, though. Sinatra trying to find a target, and Fletta there to pick it off. Doesn't matter, you don't need a Widow if you got a McCree, and well, they will collect all 3. Seoul Dynasty. Very solid offense here to kick things off on the second map.
Yeah, I like the McCree switch there towards the end too. Fletta wasn't necessarily finding the value that he was looking for in the EMP because there's so many different pillars and catacombs back there. People were able to hide behind it. He was getting hacked in this weird duel with Dante, so he eventually just goes to McCree, starts shutting him down, and Moth flew right into that Deadeye.
Yeah, well, we got the self-destruct replay coming through here. We'll get to see that double kill right at the end. Oh, well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good one. You pointed it out. Teams are still trying to figure out these angles to dodge these self-destructs. Where are the likely bombs going to go off? How do they dodge the angles? And right into the hallways, as you said. Nowhere to go there for Dante and Sinatra.
Yeah, that's where everyone's playing back in there, trying to play very passive because you have the Junkrat. No need to see what you're shooting at if you're playing Junkrat. Just, fire and forget it. See what happens for it, and they do end up finishing out of Blizzard World in a rarity. I mean, so far, small sample size, but so far.
Yeah, exactly. We're only just dipping our toes in, right? When you're going over, when we see the map stats for both of these teams, what they've achieved, well, we're still waiting to see what the first result is going to be here for Blizzard for both of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd because a lot of people did say, it's gonna be a lot like Kings, right? Because it's narrow. There's a lot of small hallways, and then you see, add in another tank, add in a Moira, and you get so much value out of that coalescence. Everyone's in a straight line in a lot of these situations, fighting in different hallways. It's not very spread out. So those are the heroes that work on Kings that are also going to work on Blizzard World. They're trying to transition into it, and it really seems like it does fit Seoul's style.
That slow, grindy approach. Jaehong on the Moira, just cranking out heals left and right.
He had coalescence every fight.
Yeah, that was
ridiculous. Sometimes 2 in 1 fight is absolutely ridiculous. Getting all the healing that they need works so well.
That's kind of the glory of that strategy, isn't it? All these beefy tank targets to heal up.
We've got a Toby Tracer on the field. Jaehong's going to stay at Moira, but they realize they don't need much more healing given what Jaehong is doing. And also because Munchkin can self-heal and Fletta's got packs. So that's why you can run a traditional single healer here. Of course, Sombra, somewhat of that hybrid. On the other side of things, San Francisco going to run a Sombra Tracer. Sleepy and Moth going to take up the mantle on Lucio and Moira.
Still have those heals going through here. Moth with a bit of the move speed if he wants it. Still looking for their angle of entry here as Dante is wrapping his way up onto the high ground. Sinatra, in the meantime, kind of doing the same thing. Right now, there's more of this poke game. But with that Orisa shield, it makes it a little annoying here. And yeah, sure enough, San Francisco, man, they're going the long way around, just trying to get around the barrier, and they will be able to find somebody. But Munchkin is going to be the one to find the first kill of this fight. Moth already out of it.
Munchkin usually going to be the Tracer player, but Toby's doing just fine on that. Sinatra cannot find enough damage to do kills. He's got his buddy back there with him as they're both going to camp on packs, wait for the rest of the team to come out. Fletta is looking for them in the back line, and he has forced them so far away.
They're just keeping an eye on him. And why not? You've got Toby over here as well, still just waiting. But this is going to be Sinatra and Dante kind of acting as a duo here. They could overwhelm Toby if there was going to be a hack. Not going to happen, though. Dante forced back yet again. Only 60% on that EMP.
They would love to force out some ultimates here because they just made wholesale changes in their support. Moth and Sleepy both now on different support heroes, only at 13% or so on their ultimates. So they would like to force a fight in which they get ultimates out, which means that Dante, even if he gets EMP, probably shouldn't use it.
Oh, there we go. Finding Sinatra. That's a nice one. Toby. That was Fletta in the meantime with the hack on that pack. That is going to force Sinatra back. And there we go. The stick. Perfect. DMAC possible here on Nevix. The Coalescence is in there trying to do the damage as well. But Nevix, quick reactions from him. Does manage to stay alive. Super in the meantime. Same can't be said for him. He's been run over by Toby.
That pack in the backline getting hacked by Fletta is the definition of pack control to the nth degree. He was out there chasing them before when they had control of the pack, chased them away long enough to have the cooldown go down and took the packs away. He's taken that one away too. Fleta, I mean, you talk about StarCraft and having map control. Fleta has map control.
Yes, I mean, look at Dante. Where is Dante right now? Can we just go on Dante? So if you watch the map, he's nowhere to be found. In all of that fight, he was chilling out over here on the tank. Just doesn't want to have anything to do with it.
That's trying to hide behind the turret there. They're waiting now, and now that they've built up their own ultimates, they don't have to go for an eco rush. The EMP will very likely come out from him. EMP does come out from Dante. Good initiation.
Yeah, there we go. Waited for the rest of his team to get in there. Him staying alive was key as they find 3 kills here. And already that should mean the end of this fight as far as Seoul Dynasty are concerned. They had all their ults, but it doesn't matter if they're silenced. They're not going to get them off.
Well, that's always kind of the weird silver lining of if you get EMP'd and then blown up, is that you're going to have huge ultimate advantage for the next fight simply because you weren't able to use them. Unless you switch Munchkin back over to his Tracer hero and Toby back over to Lucio and you completely reset those. However, self-destruct EMP still available, even though Seoul makes some compositional changes.
Seoul did as well. It's looking like San Francisco are sticking to their guns here for this next fight. And the payload now making progress. They've got a long way to go, though, and only 3 minutes to get it done in as well here for San Francisco. So time to step up. Fleta getting forced back. Sinatra really on the heels here. Does not want to let him get any more control than he already has. And yep, sure enough, there we go. Finds Fleta, but he's in the back. He's going to have to be careful about that.
Yeah, Sinatra's in no man's land with no recall. He's in a little bit of trouble, but finds himself the way to the arcade. Have himself some cheap nachos and get back up to help.
This is a crazy fight coming in from Seoul, though. At the first pack, at the first point, they're still going at it. Trading it back-to-back, zone by T-Max, but Munchkin there finds the kill on Super. And at this first choke point, I'm loving it, although there we go. Dante steps in with an EMP of his own. Now it's about staying close together here for Seoul Dynasty. Let Jaehong get all that AoE healing into play. And even with the EMP, San Francisco only just making some progress on the payload.
Moth and Sinatra will fall. Nevix tries to return the favor, but doesn't find much. Only ends up demagging Zumba. And right now, Super's gonna have to go back. I love this aggressive hold from Seoul. Don't give him up anything down into the fights. And it looks like actually a pretty nasty choke from the defensive aspect there. There's not a whole lot of ways, and if you want to set up a flank, it takes you a while to get back there. Sinatra so far has been having to recall out of his flanking positions.
He keeps getting forced back. They are, as soon as they spot him, they're on top of him. Sinatra right now, he's got the pulse, not quite able to find a target. They are finally starting to make a bit of real progress here. They will get forced back. Stick goes through, not gonna quite find the kill. Miro able to get around the corner, and he will get topped up instantly by Jaehong. Out of harm's way here, Miro. But they still have a chance here, Seoul Dynasty. Munchkin is dead, but they still have a chance to stop him at the U-bend.
They force them all the way back here. A couple of nice ults for San Francisco online, being Primal Rage, EMP, and that Transcendence. On the other side of things, those similar ultimates should come online again, so the next kill is going to determine a lot about who can be the aggressor in this situation. EMP up over top.
Nuts, EMP again, so quick. And then the hack on Zumba, who has to just run away. He is getting healed up here. Jaehong so close to yet another Coalescence. Super right in, just tasing everybody with that cleave damage. Dropping dangerously low, though, and he gets the Primal just in the nick of time. Stays alive a little bit longer.
They were able to get Nevix out of that fight, though. That's all they will collect during the EMP. Sleepy will fall late again, and it looks like a full-on reset here with only 45 seconds remaining. San Francisco will return to the drawing board without that Primal Rage, without EMP. Can Sinatra be the hero they signed him to be?
He's got to come up with a magic play now. If ever there was a time. 5 ultimates online here for Seoul Dynasty. And this is where we usually see, well, at least this week, where we've seen the payload grind to a halt. San Francisco have got to find a way to deal with this. Fleta trying to work up to his EMP. He's already 50% there as well. So now Munchkin spots out some juicy targets. Gonna go ahead and get on top of Sleepy. Munchkin will find the kill there. Nevix still in this as well. On the line, there's the stick. Oh, and he kills himself. Munchkin with his own ult ends him.
He should have stayed where he wanted to stay. He wanted to stay up front to camp that body. Instead, the resurrection comes through, and San Francisco finds new life.
Setting it up now, overtime burn, and well, we will have Miro launching himself in here, just trying to get the fight on this payload. He will manage to delay it with the help of that sound barrier. Toby, however, on the edge, just barely manages to stay alive.
San Francisco can't lose anyone here. There's going to be a huge self-destruct. It should push them all back, and Nevix will actually treat Toby to the wrong side of it. Meanwhile, he demags Zumba.
This is unreal. They continue to fight. It's as if San Francisco Shock are thriving in overtime situations at this point.
You know, we talk so much about Sinatra and Super and all the DPS play from Dante, and even Moth and Sleepy get some credit. Nevix is one of the most underrated divas in all this league. He's the most consistent diva on the planet. If you give me a Nevix and I know exactly what I'm going to get, an above average diva play every map, in and out, I will take Nevix every day of the week.
He does very rarely disappoint. Oh well, Soul now just moving together yet again as a unit. Fletta's got the EMP, hunting for the target right now, hunting for the setup. And kind of just trying to stay with the group, trying to hang in there. Before he can pull the trigger though, Dante's gonna be there with the silence of his own, and Jaehong immediately eliminated. Yet again, the kill feed just feeding and filling with orange.
Yeah, it looks like a traffic cone right now. Moth the only one to fall during that. They still continue to clean up. Munchkin out in no man's land, the push coming through. 30 seconds means that they probably can't die in this fight. There's not really time for a good reset. You could have a Desperation Primal Rage reset, but I think you just transcend here right away. There it is.
Yep, there it is. Coalescence plus EMP. Trance is out before the EMP can go off. However, Munchkin with the double. That's a big one. And well, Sleepy is going to stay alive only a little bit longer, though. Jaehong will be there to collect it. And there's the wipe. 10 seconds left on this clock. San Francisco now is all just going to be about the leaves. And yeah, it's on Super with the Primal.
You're going to see a triple jump. He's going to have to jump, Primal, jump again. There it is. Oh, he clips his foot, but he should be able to get back to the guard. He does just that. Finds his way over the fence. They will get a kill on a Razor's Edge here. Sinatra out of the fight.
Yeah, Moth goes right on the edge as well with the Valkyrie. Does manage to just stay alive. Keeps Dante in it as well. Nevix not going to get DMAX, and now the fight will carry out. Miro has got his Primal, but Zumba not able to actually get the ult off in time. Munchkin with the pulse, will he be able to find the stick that can make the difference though? No, he will get wiped out by Sinatra, and they are making progress right now. San Francisco Shock not done yet, although Moth might be the difference maker, him going down. Never mind, Super and Sinatra are here to deliver, and yet again the EMP coming in from Dante.
Jaehong finally balls a big EMP there, should clean it up. Zumba is just in pilot mode, and a no, almost last second, he's gonna recall. Not back to the point. San Francisco finishes Blizzard World as well.
Back and forth, never letting up between both of these teams right now on this new map. Not as quick and clean as Soul, but still, all 3 points gathered up here.
This is a fun one. This has been a very, very fun map so far. Not as quick would be an understatement. 220 in Soul's bank. A couple of zeros there sitting for San Francisco. Shock gonna have to full hold this first point.
Yeah, no other option. They'll have to deliver, but man, Dante, I'm just blown away by how quickly, even with the EMP getting nerfed, not being able to farm it as quickly, it feels like Dante's got EMP every fight.
Well, we talked to a lot of players who were maybe bench Tracer players, who were going to be bench Tracer players. You know, with Sinatra coming in, where does Dante go? And I'm like, hey, Dante's played really good as Tracer, but Sombra secret weapon. Tracer's kind of skill set does translate-ish to Sombra, especially the tracking and the weapon. You know, it's Tracer light, but more mobility, more escapability. Yeah, and he's definitely translated that. We talked to Mistakes about it as well, as perhaps that's possibilities. He's Snilla playing it a little bit too. So if you were a Tracer, or that's what your main is, might be time to pick up a little bit of Sombra, find yourself a roster spot.
Yeah, they can do the hurt. They can do the hurt. And well, if you are quick, if you've got those mechanics down, because that is still, that's what really takes time when it comes to the Sombra play. It's just getting everything in order as far as translocates, cloaks, knowing how the mechanics work out for that hero.
Well, it's tracking. There's 2 types of aim, tracking and flick, and this is why Sinatra is also a god tier Zarya too, because his tracking is so good.
Well, let's get into it now as they are just going straight into the point. Soul Dynasty, no time wasted. Back to the tank play. Fleta will be on Sombra as well. And they're already managing to get a little bit of a foothold here with the tanks moving together. I like the boop there from Nevix running right into him, but he might have overextended, might get punished. Complete collapse. All of Soul just ganging up on him. And 2 very, well, that is going to be the DMAC and a very key kill.
Still some pressure onto the point from Sinatra so that they're not getting a whole lot of progress here. Moth and Sleepy down. That might be all she wrote. A Desperation EMP, gonna have to spin gold out of this one.
Again, Dante so quick with the EMP. That is it. I mean, that EMP could have made all the difference. The hack on Miro, not gonna let him get out.
That's a mid-charge. He was lining it up to try to get through there, and San Francisco does the impossible. After losing both of their supports, the Desperation EMP, pull it back. This is how bad it was. Nevix is on the Doomfist. Now he's stuck on it.
Well,
I don't think this would, I think he would rather be on Diva.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would as well. But hey, any excuse to see some Doomfist play, man.
I'll take it. Yeah.
I'll take it. Nevix may not be too happy with that, but he'll have a chance to shine. Just punch people in the face, Nevix. That's how it works.
60 seconds here. They've actually accidentally rolled into the hard counter to Doomfist. Here's a McCree on the field. They're going to take the slow and steady, take the corner. Very reminiscent of Houston's offense.
Fleta trying to play that angle. Closed here. Does not want to get flanked out. Nobody really to get in there. On top of all that, Nevix just going to go straight in. Munchkin gone. Nevix pinned to the wall, though. Some modern art there for you, but now it's a matter of whether or not San Francisco can hold. One tick is all that Seoul need. They just need to win a fight clean.
Well, they resurrected Dante. Dante's able to get the EMP, and now Miro dies because the shield is not there. Sinatra walks in and sticks him. Soul being deflected, only 17 seconds. Oh, clutch kill onto Dante, though.
That was a big one, though. That can slow him down. Fletaman just continues to deliver headshots. Sleepy, yeah, sure, you can get frustrated with that. The flash wasted, and there's the snipe from Sleepy.
Those last couple kills might turn the balance in favor of Soul, though, as they continue to push in. The Doomfist will re-engage and charge right into a wall.
Again, Miro with the charge. Again, Miro with the kill on Nevix. And that is all. Seoul Dynasty will succeed and pick up a second map here versus the San Francisco Shock. But San Francisco, man, and Dante in particular, remarkable stuff from him, man. He is just delivering on that Sombra.
Everyone's playing at a very high level right now. These teams know what's on the line. San Francisco wants to make a statement, and it's 2-0, but it is not too over at all. I think San Francisco can absolutely pull this one back, especially going to Ilios next.
Yeah, Ilios next, bit of the chaos. Oh, well, yeah, you can see, hanging on the edge, everybody wondering in the chaos, and well, it was going to be Seoul. They've taken the lead. Now it's a matter of San Francisco fighting back and making this a series.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
The Seoul Dynasty are looking to bounce back from a tough loss on Wednesday, and so far, so good. They hold on to a 2-0 lead over the Shock at the half. Welcome back, everybody. It's Puggy here at the desk. We got Bren, we've got Crumbs, and honestly, this has been the best match we have seen today, and one of the better matches of the week. It's a 2-0 lead here for Seoul Dynasty, but these matches have been on a razor's edge.
Yeah, I mean, across the board, like we looked at the map statistics, the percentages, and across the board, I mean, we said slightly favors Shock a little bit because, you know, Seoul have not been looking too hot on Anubis, but they turned it around. I've actually been relatively impressed with the way Seoul have been performing. Again, they've stepped it up, putting in the players that we know can perform. We know these guys as veterans, so definitely...
But Bren.
But Bren what?
I was looking at the first push of the final push of the Seoul Dynasty on Temple of Anubis, and I got to tell a straight segment to highlight that I believe that San Francisco should have won that first map, and they lost it by just the slimmest of margins. So let's take a look at this replay. So here are the important things to note for this push right here. Look at the ultimates. You've got Dante at 97, Moth at 98, Sleepy at 80%. Almost there. 10 seconds on the clock. So Seoul's got to get moving. Look at Seoul's ultimates. The only major ultimate is Wakid, 91. Toby is close to his. And what Seoul is going to do is they're going to try to kill Sleepy. But look at what happens with the timings. As I play this out, take a look at what Seoul does. Immediately, bam, they're pouncing onto Sleepy. And now take a look at this percentage of ult charge right there. 99%.
Ooh,
right
so
there.
close.
Right, look at that HP. Look at that tick. 99%. If this guy hits the Transcendence, he's going to heal Sinatra, he's going to heal Super, he's going to heal Nevix, but it gets even better because the first kill that San Francisco get, it's on Toby. Toby is ulting. They kill him with the Dragon Blade. I think that had Sleepy been able to hit that Transcendence, San Francisco Shock, hit the full hold, and win this map flat out.
I mean, that basically just tells the story of this entire series so far, right? It's the fact that it's been so bloody close between these two teams. Like, Seoul have been really, actually, I was very surprised when I'm on Blizzard World, but Anubis was incredibly close between them. Realistically, Seoul won it because you pointed out that one moment there where it was just basically on the slimmest of margins that they won it. But again, I think a big part of this was also, I mean, we can play some highlights as well so you can see what I'm talking about here, but it was also the fact that we were looking at Weekid on the Junkrat, right? He was using the Rip Tires to create openings and picks. Fletter on the Widowmaker as well. Again, creating massive openings for his team across the board. And I mean, it was very close indeed, but San Francisco Shock, they suffer from this problem where they get a bit of an advantage going ahead of them, and they really sort of struggle to really close out these wins despite it being right in front of them.
It's kind of amazing just to see the depth of the teams as well. You talked about Wikid's Junkrat, but he played a Genji. You saw Dante on Genji. You saw Sinatra on Genji. The DPS really flexing, but for me, it came down to the ultimates, and I think that's what won Seoul the game. On the end, Wikid's Tire were the difference makers. You saw both times that it looked like Shock were in a great position to take that final point. Those Junkrat Tires shut down their push.
How many times, Puckett, when we were watching it downstairs, did I say, you know, at this, this was the moment, like, where I said to Puckett, you know, the only way that San Francisco Shock lose that fight is if Weekid gets a kill of his Tire, and he just gets 3. Like, he just pulls it out of the bag time and time again. That wasn't even the first time that he's done that.
They were down 2 people with
crazy.
that Tire. Like, that was actually the winning push again for San Francisco, but the Tires keep saving people. It's a pretty strong ability.
Let's keep it rolling into Blizzard World. We were really excited to see these squads on the new map. And Seoul, they were showing us so many different looks. I love to see the Moira coming out. Toby flexed over from a Lucio to a Tracer at points here for Seoul Dynasty. Munchkin back in on a Roadhog.
Yeah, I mean, Toby actually used to be a Tracer main back in the day before he transitioned to Lucio, so it's not too unusual. I know some people, myself included, had to double check that stat, but well, not stat, but that actually, it's a bit of historics there for you. And again, another close map here on Blizzard World. This is a map that's newly introduced for Stage 3. We're not too sure how teams match up on it, but I was a big fan of the way Seoul played this. The sort of compositions they were coming out with, the tank-based compositions, was very nice, very clean. It shows that they are well practiced on it, and they found a strategy that works.
I have to say, this was my favorite game we have seen so far in Stage 3. If you guys are just joining us, go back and watch the VODs later tonight. Blizzard World between these two squads, back and forth. Nevix on a Doomfist, almost clutched up. We almost saw the Shock locking things down and tying up Game 2. Instead, it's a 2-0. So, Crumbs, where do we go from here? Can we see a Game 5 tonight? Can the Shock bring it back?
Absolutely can. By the slimmest of margins has this game been a 2-0. It's one of the closest 2-0s we've had so far. And what Seoul is doing really well is that they're utilizing their composition and playing to the pace that these heroes require. They're alternating the Junkrat, Tyra, and Widowmaker ultimates. When they have all tanks and a lot of healing, they'll stick on the point and try not to spread off too far. So it's definitely a much better Seoul lineup, and this is what we wanted to see from them this whole time. So I'm glad to see Seoul finally back.
It's the last halftime of the night, and I want to check in with my people out there. How we feeling, Blizzard Arena? You guys still with us? How many people want to see this go to Game 5? Who wants to see Seoul lock this one up? We'll find out how it all plays out. Ilios, game number 3, coming up when we return.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
What's up, everybody? Malik here for Access Granted. I'm getting ready to pick up Baby Bay from the San Francisco Shock to talk about music and his upcoming matchup against the Seoul Dynasty. What music is Baby Bay bumping on his system?
Probably Lil Uzi, Lil Skies, you know, all the bangers. I love to dance too, so it's just like...
Oh, word?
Yeah, I can dance.
What would you say right now is kind of like the move?
Million Rock.
Is it sturdy? Is it sturdy? Let me see. Let me see how sturdy.
I can't do that right now.
That guy Baby Bay is such a character and a lot of fun to hang out with. Don't worry, Baby Bay, I will be checking to see if that Millie Rock is sturdy in the future. But anyways, guys, the San Francisco Shock, they're down 0-2 to the Seoul Dynasty. And I need to emphasize to you guys how important it is that the Seoul Dynasty wins this match 4-0 because they're already off to a slow start. being swept that first match against the LA Valiant, so they need to win this thing out to keep themselves in playoff contention. They don't want to miss the stage playoffs like they did the last 2 stages. Anyways, guys, if you stick around for the end of the match, all my people out there who have the All Access Twitch Pass, we have another AMA for you. This night is with Nomi from the San Francisco Shock. So please hop in, ask him questions, ask him what he ate for breakfast, if he likes long walks in the park, all that good stuff. Anyways, guys, we still have a whole another half left to go. So let's go ahead and get back into the action with our casters, Similar and Hex.
Indeed, thank you, Malik. And yes, definitely check out the AMA that will be happening. Yesterday, I think we had Jake. It was real good to hear him. He had some great questions, some great answers. So definitely check it out, guys, at the end of the broadcast. Stick around.
Get to know Nomi. Get to know Nomi.
No.
My dance move. I still do the dice. Still roll the dice.
Still roll the dice.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about the 2-step, Hex. It's all about the 2-step. You know, that's about the extent of my
I'm
coordination.
pretty sure, since you look like you teach salsa in your spare time, that I will yield to
It's all
your
about the
opinion.
tango, Hex. 'Cause it takes 2. It takes 2. All right, we're getting into it, man. Ilios, it has been an excellent day of Overwatch. We have 2 maps left, and they were not lying on the desk. If you're just tuning in, be sure to watch the first 2 maps of this series because it has been so close. Seoul Dynasty, they're up 2-0. But San Francisco Shock, they've definitely not given up those 2 maps without a fight. And so we will be seeing, and I do believe we are going to start on the murder hole as well.
San Francisco has played this map pretty well, but this was one of my concerns coming in is since they had new players, they were a little slow to adjust. They got bodied pretty hard by a Pharah combo on one of these maps, and it took them about 2 or 3 fights to even switch onto something to even put pressure on it. I think eventually Sinatra went to a 76, and they were able to pull it off, but I'd like to see those transitions come a little cleaner. And again, that just comes with being comfortable with who does what in which situation and knowing it intrinsically rather than having to call it out.
Mm-hmm. That's all team practice. That's all
Yeah.
scrims. That's all just ingraining it exactly so that you don't even need to waste the time calming. You have a battle plan going into it. You know what to do for X, Y, and Z situations. He woke up like this, okay? So Sleepy's woke now. Sleepy on the Zenyatta.
Woke. Is that like one of the terms that whatever Babyface said? Is that what they sing about?
That is exactly.
There's a bunch of Lils. All I remember is Lil Romeo.
Lil Romeo,
Yeah.
Lil Sleepy.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what's going
everyone's
on.
Lil now. I stay true to Lil Sebastian. Here we go as they will roll out Fleta on the McCree. Should be giving Sinatra and
I'm dying, Hex. All I can think is you saying, I was little before it was cool.
too true.
These guys, though, they're trying to figure out a way. They're trying to figure out a way. And it's not looking like it's going to be the answer here. Seoul Dynasty just getting chunked down so hard. Are they going to be able to actually get in here to contest this point? Not. Let San Francisco pick it up for free. And yes, nick of time, Miro and Zumba able to get out. There's the hack onto Fleta, though. But hey, he's McCree. He'll still shoot you in the face. He doesn't care.
They do have to jump off there, though, and instead of contesting, even though with not a whole lot dead, they do give up the point. Not for free, necessarily. San Francisco will take first control as Seoul is bullied off the point. And hence the name. Control on control maps is very important. A lot of teams will even switch off compositions. Once you get that initial mid-fight, if you don't take control, you got to switch into something else.
Ooh, they even get the res off on Fleta. He's going to be happy about that. Up to 80% on that Deadeye. We'll see if it comes in handy here as Toby's got the wings. And no, Toby gets the wings off before Dante can get the sleep, or the EMP rather. Sick reaction time there from Toby. We'll see if it makes a difference as they do manage to trade. At least here, Nevix will get demexed in this fight, trying to get run over as well. That's not pleasant. He does get splattered by Zumba. And the fight continues now as Jaehong has got his trance online and doesn't hesitate to use it.
And they are going to bust out the Coalescence now to try to keep this fight alive. Soul has done a good job of getting all the kills that they need. A sound barrier comes in from San Francisco, though, as they re-engage onto this. Deadeye will zone them out. Super will finally fall, but still haven't gotten everyone off of the point yet, so no control over to Soul yet.
Oh, that was sick by Fleta. Not easy to do, but he gets the flash. Double shot to follow, and we will have to self-destruct. Zoning them out just a little bit further. 65% and counting for San Francisco Shock. With Seoul Dynasty, they're taking these fights, but San Francisco are continuing to extend their lead. They've got to be feeling fantastic right now with how this is going.
This is why you can't give up control of the point without a giant fight in the beginning, which is exactly what happened to Seoul. Now they will finally seem like they're cleaning it up, but look at this, still ticking up, and now San Francisco Shock has put themselves one fight away from taking the stage.
Exactly, from bringing themselves back into this series. San Francisco, they need it right now. 2-0 in maps for Seoul Dynasty. They're looking for one more to close it out. So San Francisco, they're definitely not out of it yet. Dante's got his EMP. It's absurd how quick Dante is at farming up that EMP.
He's very aggressive. The entire team plays very aggressive, and they have to, because so often Dante will EMP and then bail out. So that's a lot of damage that's in that fight now gone, because he has to translocate to safety. But the rest of his team's been able to pick up the slack. EMP on the right side, Deadeye comes in response.
Man, you got to give it to the Seoul Dynasty supports, though. These EMPs are coming through, but it's still not stopping them from actually getting their ults off in time. Jayhawk might not be too happy about that. Doesn't get too much for the trance because they're playing it so patiently here in San Francisco. Fleta will find the kill on Super, though. Fleta doing a very good job of playing the angles, not opening himself up to the damage.
He's just shooting through a corpse right there, not really providing cover, just to really stall out tactic. Sleepy gets one, but another flashbang into the dome as Nevix will fall, and from across the map, Fleta, what can't he do?
Yeah, no, give me McCree play any day of the week. Fleta, so sick, just connecting with everything. So San Francisco now on the back foot. The recall forced out of Sinatra. He's gonna have to give ground. They're trying to figure out where he was 3 seconds ago. Where was Sinatra? Munchkin finally gets him, but Sinatra able to make it back to his team.
Sinatra will have Pulse Bomb for this next fight. Super has worked his way up towards the Primal Rage. I don't know, I think Super is maybe not necessarily on the exact same page as his healers. It seems like he's a little too aggressive, maybe a step too aggressive. He's been punished a lot. He's been the first death in a lot of these fights.
Oh, look at this Munchkin right now. He has got the stick capability if he wants with the Pulse. Still hanging out on this point. Fleta with the zoning Deadeye. Gonna get punted in the air. Could get a D-Mac though. Nevix somehow survives, but not for long. They just threw everything in. Fleta with the kill on Super, but Munchkin gets that Pulse in there, removes Nevix.
I mean, you knock him up in the air as he's high noon, and that's one way to see time fly there. Dante, very low, got Jayhong, but still not onto this. San Francisco must win this next fight on the verge of Seoul bringing his back.
Yeah, all on the line here, and they're just getting whittled down. Nobody seems to be able to get a hold of Fleta. And so this is what he can do, just keeps cranking out damage nonstop. The heals are there as well, keeping him in the fight. And what? Just flashbangs the wall. Okay, then.
It looked at him funny. Don't take crap from no punk wall.
Maybe he thought it was the ground. I don't know. They are still going in with this fight, though. There we go. Stylish stick on Sleepy, who had no fade. And there it is, Seoul Dynasty.
Post-fade stick. Seoul off the back of Fleta's play. It's such a great mix of playing back with his team when he needs to, seeing the angles when he needs to. I think the Moira's going to be over here. A little roll, little flashbang, headshot. To see, yeah, this is where he gets launched into the sky.
Punted. Still manages to get in there. Nevix, that was looking.
He got Super, who just dropped into his line of sight right there. It's actually a really terrible thing to do to a Deadeye McCree when it's high noon. You don't want to give them high ground there. It's one of the best things to do. Like, I've seen several highlights where McCree's Deadeyeing and maybe he gets knocked up by a Junkrat mine, and it's a 5 kill. It's like the last thing you want to do is be messing with the McCree right there. A small misstep from Super, and I'm giving his life for it though, so he paid.
Yeah, he paid. Just dues and desserts. As they are continuing with the fight here, Seoul Dynasty straight in, running headlong into each other. San Francisco shock. Not willing to back down.
Well, San Francisco got here first because they have a Lucio, and that's by design so that Dante can get to that pack first and hack it right away. That's a huge control, it's a huge source of healing, and they know that most fights actually occur there. It's kind of just that Braveheart moment where both teams decide to just look at each other and smash faces into each other.
Oh man, and Dante, he still finds the D-Mac on Zumba as well.
Now he's gonna have all the pack control in the world. The map control is going over to the San Francisco Shock. If you're Sinatra, you're asking him to hack packs on the other side of the map so you never have to find a healer again.
And they're still sticking together here. They will have Munchkin's Pulse coming online here for Seoul Dynasty, so one tool in the toolbox. See if they can find some more as Super is getting melted. He's getting down to about half HP already. Munchkin gonna try and draw San Francisco Shock back to the point. Forced to recall out immediately though.
Munchkin has gone onto, well, he's over on his Tracer. Fleta still has Deadeye here. This can be a very good map for Deadeye. So there's a lot of staircases to get natural high ground without a Winston tossing you in the air.
Yeah, and there, speak of the devil. Looking for a target, not quite gonna find it, trying to change it up, but eventually will run out of time. Still, if he can get some Peacemaker one-clicks in there, that would be pretty tasty for him. Fleta's still trying to find these angles, just trying to hang back. This is where he's gonna shine.
and no one's really pressuring him at all. And now, even though he gets a little bit of pressure, but the rest of his team is falling up front. Super's gonna pop Primal, knock everyone about. Remember, San Francisco's had control at this point the entire time. Soul hasn't even really been close to pressuring them off of it. I'm a little surprised that Soul is going to stay on this. They could go to what gave San Francisco trouble, which was the Pharah Mercy combo.
Sticking to their guns, the name of the game, but they really need to find a kill here. Dante just farming that EMP yet again. Drop down to half HP. Well, Nevix is just looking for a target, but they've done even better than on the first point. 80% and counting for San Francisco. Shock, they could get themselves in a position now where it's going to be an overtime, and Soul are going to be forced with their backs to the wall. So many kills coming through for Soul, however. Moth, he doesn't even see his teammates dying, and good for him. No nightmares.
Well, I think he was considering maybe the sound barrier there too, but they again put themselves in a position where they only need to win one fight to win the map. However, it's exactly what happened on the last stage. So not an ideal situation. They're at 95%. You can initiate with this sound barrier, you can coalescence onto it as well. So I think they were just thinking, we already lost one, and then when 2 or 3 started dying, he was also up in the air when the decision had to be made if he needed a sound barrier or not, so who knows if he even gets to land with it.
Exactly right. But he'll have it for this next fight. Fleta now just going to chuck the Deadeye out in there as well. Looking for targets, playing very close angles. Sinatra trying to bait the shot out, not going to make it. Gets splashed to the face instead, but he survives somehow. That's a big play. As long as he can stay alive, there's still a chance here for San Francisco Shock to run over the Soul Dynasty. Nevix with the D-Mac on Zumba. Certainly going to help things, and there we go. Monster self-destruct coming through here from Nevix.
Bowling for dollars right there, completely zones him out. The hack goes on to Toby. Got his wings clipped, and they are all falling like flies as San Francisco at 99% in overtime. Just needs to clean it up, and we'll go to a stage 3.
I don't even care about the self-destruct, whatever. You're dead, Zumba. You got booped off into oblivion. And we will be going to the 3rd point on this 3rd map in the series. Half-Life 3 confirmed. So it is going to be...
You just see orange, and you see the number 3, and you're like,
exactly.
ah!
Threes everywhere. Hex, threes everywhere. The big thing here is going to be, can you deal with Fleta? Because now it's, yeah, okay, you're going to Ruins. Fair enough. Now you get to play with Fleta on Widow.
Widow Tracer is the order of the day on Ruins. But if they're going to play what I think they're going to play, I think it's really, really smart. You know what Widow's really bad against?
Big, beefy targets.
Yep, tanks. A lot of tanks. So why not roll 4 of them in there? Sleepy's been playing a very good Moira. Sinatra has a very capable Roadhog here, and if that's not the case, he could always run a Zarya in this situation, but I think the Roadhog's the right choice because you still need damage from somebody at some point, and that's going to be Sinatra's job. Quad tank into Ruins here. I like it. I like it.
Set up the hard point. Everybody hide behind Ryan Shield. And well, if Sinatra can hit some hooks as well, if he can go fishing, that would be pretty big. Miro gonna get dropped down to half HP, but Toby will top him up immediately. And Munchkin is kind of dancing on the edge as well, hunting for a target. But really, those squishies, man, they've got so many beefy targets to stand in front of them. The meat shield is real, and already San Francisco Shock making progress on this point. Soul Dynasty need to find a way in here to take the fight to him.
Yeah, Miro's going to not do anything against this composition. In fact, it should scare him a little bit. They're going to give him the orb. Meanwhile, Super did fall. That's the target you want to start off with, is Reinhardt, who's in one direction. You can drive through him as a Zarya and put so much damage on it, and then it exposes everybody else. Miro doing a great job of playing around his bubble. And even though they hit the hook, so much healing comes into Zumba. This is astounding play from the tanks of Soul. 2 against 4, and they're out-tanking them.
They're out-tanking them. They're taking the fight to him. They don't care. Super caught in the corner now. Well, you can't protect all sides with the bubble. Unfortunately, with the shield, it's not a Winston bubble, and they will come out ahead. Soul Dynasty. Question is, well, Fleta, yeah, just bring in the pain, bring in the hurt.
It was a good idea in theory, but they are going to have to switch off of it. Sinatra onto Tracer, Dante onto Sombra. But how do you deal with Fleta? Is it up to the tanks, or do you try to ignore it and play out of sight lines?
Try and close it off. I mean, you got Munchkin that you're going to have to deal with as well. If you get grouped up, he's going to be more than happy to bomb you to death. Nevix is on the Diva, though, getting closer to that self-destruct, and when you got the D-Matrix there as well, that's something that Munchkin's got to keep in mind. Ults galore, there's the stick, lots of damage dealt, and Munchkin will secure the kill on Super.
I think Super did a good job of just not killing the rest of his team there. He was right over there. That could have been an absolute disaster, a game-ending pulse bomb, or a fight-ending one at the very least. Now still trades back and forth, Soul in firm control of this. Zumba will get his other side of it, and now their chase is on for this Primal Rage. He's trying to knock him back into where his damage is, and eventually they will find Super as well.
Super's been having a rough time of it so far this map.
Look how aggressive this Widow positioning is.
Yeah, he knows. Unless you get a Widow of your own.
Or Genji, but I mean, I guess Dante would have to go to Genji. It just seems like they don't have the tools in their kit to be able to deal with this, or they're not practiced enough on the tools to deal with this. Because I don't think they have a Widow that can go toe-to-toe with Fleta. There's very few people who can.
Yeah, and it's this kind of similar situation as far as Fleta is concerned. He will find the body shot. Sleepy barely hanging on by a thread, right on top of each other. That's awkward. The orb gonna do so much damage from Sleepy, and I guess that's one way to deal with Fleta. Still 90% nearly here for Seoul Dynasty and counting. San Francisco have not been able to roll this over. The hack on Zumba, though, he's gonna be pleased about that. Zumba out of the picture immediately, and Toby, you can see, he's got the option to res, but he's definitely gonna be backing out.
Just barely getting to his targets there.
No, never mind.
He's gonna come back for it.
Cheeky.
No one left behind, even though it's a Diva assembler. Can you deal with that?
Barely. Barely. There it is. That's one way to go for it as well. Just go for the primal and just try to punch Fleta in the face.
I missed his first jump, though, and now he's still all over Fleta. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, 3 have died on the point for San Francisco.
Yeah, while you're trying to focus it up, I mean, when you've got the primal Rage Winston just hunting a Widow, that means that he's not in there to go and fight the rest of the team to soak up the damage.
That's the issue with the Widow. It's not only about getting kills, because honestly, in the kill feed, Fleta's been somewhat quiet. But he has caused so much resources to be devoted into him. You saw earlier, Moira went to deal with him. You know what happened then? No one else is getting healing, and everyone's dying on the point because Moira's off fighting a Widow. You see the Primal Rage Winston go in, and then no one's on the point to soak up damage, and everyone dies. It's just about the resources you have to devote, which is why Widow is your best option to take out another Widow in a 1v1. Not the case, and Seoul will lock this up thanks to Ruins and Widowmaker. San Francisco had no answer for it because their best Widow player is not in the lineup.
Not on the stage tonight. 3-0 victory for Seoul Dynasty, and it's going to be a matter of whether or not San Francisco can turn it around here, save some of their honor, and pick up a map win on map 4.
They were so close too, 99 a couple different times, just couldn't pull it off. Gotta get the moral victory coming up. We have one more map to go.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omened by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
All right, sick. We aren't live, guys. Thanks for being patient during the break because we've got map 4 coming up between Seoul Dynasty and San Francisco Shock. So, yeah, okay, we've been having a bit of a discussion in the downtime X, you know, in terms of San Francisco Shock not being able to bring all the tools necessary to close out, especially a control map where you may need more tools to work with.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Houston where you just don't have all the tools you need in any different map at any given time. Like, you can specialize, like, oh, this is our Junkrat map, but then when things change, it's like, hey, do we have a Widow Tracer? Can we do that? You know, it's not ideal. Now we do see Wakid coming in for Munchkin. On the other side of things, we will have another substitution. Baby Bay, who they probably could have used on Ruins, is going to come in for Sinatra. It's no surprise because San Francisco likes to run a Widow here on Junkertown on both offense and defense. You just have to question, on Control, you need your most versatile players at all times because you never know. And on Control, especially if you're going to hit all 3, every one of these Control maps has that outlier that just plays different. It's just weird. And you need everyone who can play like a very versatile thing. Baby Bay is not as like super versatile either, but he is your Widow player. And Widow's good on everywhere. I mean, for the most part.
Yeah, if you have a Widow, you play a Widow.
Yeah, and then he's got a serviceable 76. His McCree is fine. He could have played on the Murder Hole. So a little bit interesting. We will see him here now, even though the series is over. Seoul has won it. You got to get those map victories. If you're not going to get set victories, got to keep your head above water.
Can't give up. There's the first point, and we will be cruising through that as we get into the high ground fiesta of the second point bend here.
What makes it a fiesta?
Because look at all, you know, they just look at all the places for parties, man.
Bruce's? You party at Bruce's Rec Yard?
Yeah.
Don't answer that. There's a pub, I suppose.
Just get
Wolfwood's,
wrecked every night.
Wolfwood's pub. Yeah. I've been known to wake up in scrap yards.
Indeed. That's what. Okay.
Again, don't answer that.
Yeah. I mean, look at this fine view.
Yeah. That's the Outback. What you can't see below the trees is the steakhouse that it's so named after.
Yeah, and all the things that are out there ready to kill you, too.
Yeah, I talked to Mitch, and he was just like, man, I love Outback Steakhouse, and my favorite beer is Foster's.
Yes, I heard him say it, too.
Yes,
Confirmed.
exactly.
Confirmed.
And he has a pet Great White.
That he, you know, likes to go on rides with.
Rides to work in his kangaroo.
Yes. And he rides in the pouch of his kangaroo, isn't that?
Well,
but who hasn't watched The Simpsons?
Yeah.
But Mitch loves to get dirty, so it's fine.
Why wouldn't you ride in the pouch of a kangaroo? All right, this is exactly what these teams both like to run on this map. Signature styles here. Seoul Dynasty going to come out with a Roadhog, Junkrat, Rissa, and, well, last second switch up. They've been running double sniper for a while here with a Hanzo and a Widow, but Jaehong going to come with a little bit of Mei. All right.
All right, you get a wall in there. Try and force them out into the open behind the grating there. Not quite going to work, though, so we'll see how Jaehong can manage to get the Mei wall in play. That's pretty much the name of the game here as far as he's concerned. Splitting up that defense. And in the meantime, Zumba, perfect target. Dante out of it immediately. Moth should be able to get the res off, and they don't camp the body. So yes, Dante will be able to get back into this fight.
At what point do people stop playing on these stairs? Because every single Junkertown map, you see the stairs absolutely crushed by a Roadhog here. A nice lock-off of the high ground to make sure that the sight lines are absolutely crushed. Shuts the door, open back up, only to find Zumba there again. Baby has got to start hitting some more of these shots. He's going to have to back out right now. He's getting boosted. But now they're just playing behind the shields. No presence on the ground.
Exactly. You play behind the Orisa shield and you're fine. Whatever. Widow, Baby Bay, look for shots. That's good. And then Fleta is here to hold these angles. The shield is already down. That's going to make life very difficult for Super. Gets overwhelmed immediately with nowhere to hide, and a very quick first point take for Seoul Dynasty.
Absolutely crushed here. Fleta's going to get aggressive. Fleta's been very aggressive on this map. Actually, Widows in general in the Overwatch League have been playing much more aggressively lately, especially when you have a Mercy on your team and you know that you're probably going to get resurrected even being halfway aggressive here. And they've taken a very good position on this high ground. Where's San Francisco? Did they DC?
They're just pondering the meaning of life, X. Wondering when they're going to be able to get through these choke points.
Haven't seen them in a bit, and a lot of it is because the doors have been locked down by Fleta's sight lines. They are finally back out here, but the tire from Wakid could change things.
Definitely off in the hallways as well. And here we go, tire in play. Wakid getting, well, stuck on the furniture, but he should be able to work his way out here in a moment's time. Looking for the juicy tank kills, of course. And, well, Baby Bay will be there to do exactly what Widows need to deliver when a tire is on the map. Jaehong assassinates Moth, though, and they are continuing to make progress forward with this. Payload ult after ult coming into play, and Seoul Dynasty just non-stop progress.
It's been 2 kills on the board entirely for this San Francisco Shock so far. Add a third one right there as Fleta will fall. Even though it's a race, we're gonna count it on the board, but that's it. Toby's died, Jayong's died, Fleta's died. That is it, that is all.
And a tire.
All right.
Tire count?
But no, tires aren't people, despite what the movie Rubber would have you believe. Did you ever see Rubber? It's about a sentient tire that kills people. Check it out. Anyway, not making it up.
Yes, the
You have-
throwback and a half, X.
It's an amazing movie. It's meta about filmmaking and literature. Anyway, Dante comes in. We'll take down Jae-Hong with one of those aforementioned tires. But I guess the better of Baby Bay again, and this has been just a roll through. Finally, some signs of life from San Francisco, though.
Oh, that would have been a sick hook. Zumba so close. Yeah, but they're backing out, and they're still making progress with this payload. It's hardly stopped at all, apart from waiting for doors to open. So shield is up. San Francisco getting a bit of that presence on the high ground for themselves, but still, I mean, look at this. They are just not budging. Finally, somebody will be there to contest for a little while. Super. Gonna have to back out though, and with that constant presence from Miro on the payload, every chance that they get, it continues to push forward. Wakid with the kill on Dante as well. That tire, Wakid, man, he has been so consistent with Rip Tire kills all series long.
It's been some of the best tire play we've seen in stage 3 so far, and not only does he get the kill with it, he forces out Transcend early as well, so it's a kill and a half in my book. They continue to roll through. Whole Hog does go down. Bongo's now on the card, a lot of damage, and one of the best game-changing ultimates is that Bongo. They will kill it.
They will kill it, and so eventually, but the damage was there. Eventually, Miro, though, does get to kind of jumped there by Nevix, just able to push him out in the open where they can get it focused down. And you've got Fleta now. This is exactly where he wants to be. Misses a shot on a Baby Diva, though. That's not a common mistake.
Nevix out of it, but no one's going to be able to touch him. It's just Duck Hunt back here. They can't even afford to send anyone out there. Super gets a headshot, goes very low. Chunking in. Sleepy finally snipes him, but he's getting put to bed.
Brutal. That is so brutal. They can't even believe how easy that was. Seoul Dynasty right now, all smiles, all grins. That went exactly according to plan as far as they're concerned. Wakid with all the tire kills. Fleta just can't be stopped as soon as he gets on that Widow. We saw it on Ruins, on Ilios. It's more of the same here on Junkertown. And Baby Bay, I mean, it's a tough position for Baby Bay, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't had 3 maps to warm up. He's expected to just, what, get in here and just go toe-to-toe with one of the best snipers in the world?
Yeah, coming in cold against Fleta. That's unfair. That's not really fair. I think you probably should have switched off the Widow a little earlier, too. Again, it comes to San Francisco switching maybe a fight or two too late in a lot of situations. On second point, there are times where San Francisco will switch and be like, okay, let's just run dive. And it's a really good way to get onto an Orisa, to get onto a Widowmaker. And one of the best heroes against Orisa is just get a Genji in her face. And she's very bad at close-up targets. You can get the deflect. The dive is there. It's a way to take her out. But they just a little bit late on the switches there. And not much to speak of as far as defense goes. They didn't really win a single fight.
No, they got completely overwhelmed. And so now it is a matter of them doing the same to Seoul Dynasty. That's going to be the name of the game here. Seoul Dynasty have now changed over. Wakid is going to be staying on that Junkrat, no stalker there. And Fleta on the Widow. Very similar kind of setup here as far as Seoul Dynasty are concerned.
Well, San Francisco Shock has run an offense where they run a single support. It doesn't seem that that's going to be the offense that they want to roll out here now as Sleepy is on the Zenyatta. They've also usually run this with a Roadhog. So the reason why you can see single supports is when you have other heroes that don't need support. So that's your Roadhog is going to be flanking around. Sometimes with the Sombra, of course, she is providing a little bit of support, but she also doesn't need your help. You don't have to worry about healing her. And in situations like this, where you do have a lot of bodies that don't have self-sustain, you have to run 2 supports. That's why I have Sleepy on the Zenyatta.
Well, now this is all about Seoul Dynasty trying to even out the beginning here. Yeah, that was just brutal amounts of damage getting delivered immediately.
Welcome to the Overwatch League, buddy. They are going to switch right away after this. Nevix over to Roadhog. Sleepy is going to run an Ana instead. Going to put a little more meat on the ground here. See if Baby Bay makes any switches either. We'll take out Fleta, though. That's big. You have to imagine the Resurrection will be coming shortly.
Giving some ground immediately here. Seoul Dynasty, they're willing to back off just a little bit. Let Fleta get back into this fight. Dante trying to find an angle to work with, but he's going to have to back off. And so this payload is making progress. 3 minutes on the clock here for San Francisco to make the magic happen. Will be a trade. Miro gets his head taken off, but Jae-Hong is there, and Toby will be able to get the res on Miro. despite it all.
Nevix also brought back to life, so an even fight here. Babyface gonna have the angles. It's just a matter of...
Oh, he messed it up, but then Fleda's got the angle on him. If he had launched up, that'd have been nasty.
Yeah, so it's totally on purpose. Meant to stub his toe on that ledge, to not go all the way through to the sky. And this Widow battle is stagnant thus far, but it could crack things open. Look at this, Fleda's rotated around back. This is what he loves to do on defense, play very aggressive. Dante's got him in his sights, but Fleda gets out of there.
And just playing off that tire, Zumba just launches himself in there. He knows all the tanks are swished up, that they are definitely not at full HP. Gets in there, capitalizes on that. And there's a yank and a headshot, point blank. Nevix out of it. And well, now, what do you do? You got the Nano here for Sleepy. That's something to work with, but Dante doesn't have his blade yet, so choice target to get in there and start hacking people to bits. You gotta be a little bit more patient, it seems.
You can Nano Whole Hog. That's not the worst case scenario. It depends on how Dante's chip goes, and I think at 85%, 90%,
there we go.
Yeah, now you get it going. They're just waiting for that. And Nano Whole Hog is actually pretty decent, but now when there's well, considering there's no Diva on the field, especially.
Continuing to just now make it around that corner. Gotta make sure you don't lose Super there.
They lost Baby Bay already. They're gonna have to back up and res this. Gotta be careful now. They bait out the nade.
Bongo's down. Is it gonna last though? Barrier is up and Bongo's last just a little bit longer. That makes all the difference as Zumba manages to just completely wreck them. Dante gonna get caught in a trap and Jaehong will find the kill on him. Even getting the res off on Wakid to keep that damage cranked out. And despite it all there, San Francisco Shock not able to bring it together.
Not good at math. I've proven that time and time again. But 2 ultimates for 1 kill. I don't think it's worth it.
Really?
Don't think it's worth it. That's rough right there. Finding the trap there towards the end. Not great. San Francisco, little over a minute left to continue this push, try to get something going here. And Wakita's done such a good job of just locking down this left side. There's been no angle. Sometimes an opposing Widow will try to take an angle over there. But look, Fleta loves playing over in that corner as well.
Oh man, that tire gets around and there we go. Super is gone. Definitely thinking that Baby Bay was gonna get the kill on that tire. Wakid, man, somehow makes the magic happen.
Baby Bay has his infra sight up. Fleta continues to just nonchalant pick people off. They're gonna have to res Sleepy.
Gets around the corner and denies the hook.
And I wonder how much of this is that Dante hasn't been playing Tracer lately, because he's been a non-factor trying to shut down Fleta. You know, it is a different skill set than Somber. They play differently, so he's kind of coming into this cold as Tracer.
And he's still in the back line, though. Wakid is aware of it, though, and definitely trying to delete him. There's the mine. Gonna force Dante back. Recall has been used.
What's that
Nevix finds Zumba, though. 2 big kills coming in here for San Francisco Shock. And there it is. Fleta manages to find the kill on Baby Bay, but maybe a little bit too little too late. The rest of his team are dead.
Yeah, maybe a little too much style over substance here. They're gonna res Baby Bay. Fleta might just be taking a long walk off a short cliff here momentarily. He's so far back there. Baby Bay escorts him to spawn unceremoniously.
This is where you gotta wonder, were they getting a bit ahead of themselves? What is it, counting the chickens? Counting the eggs before the chickens have laid them?
That's not saying it all. I don't know what they taught you in Sweden. Actually, that could be a saying in Sweden.
That could be a saying, yeah, that is in fact.
Are kind of strange. I've met reinforced. Swedes are odd.
They are, definitely, but hey, they're fun too. Now there's the pulse. Not gonna be able to get the kill, unfortunately. But they are making progress. Miro is trying to set up a bit of a point defense here. Fleta gonna get that hook and manage to open up these angles. Now, does he manage to find a kill off of this? You got Dante in the back line, though, trying to pressure Jaehong. Not quite gonna find it.
That's been kind of rough. Wakid does go down. They're finally killing tires now. It's not been the terror tires that we saw earlier today. San Francisco's got some great momentum coming in here through the second point.
Whoa! Oh, yeah, that's gotta be because there's gonna be a change coming through.
You would think so. Either that or he just hates drums.
He hates drums?
Have you ever been in a hippie drum circle? Yeah. You will loathe percussion afterward. They're gonna get this second point. Really no defense for Seoul Dynasty. And yeah, switches are going to come out. They've already decided to make switches here. Miro is on to a Winston. Meanwhile, he will remain on the Junkrat. He's had such good luck with it, why not? Dante trying to make an impact. He's gonna try to find a pulse bomb.
Oh, he definitely stepped up on the second point. Now it's about the third. Gonna get a presence on the high ground as well. That's where Seoul Dynasty have set up shop for now. There we go, double blink into the stick. Not gonna find the stick. But still, that does force them out in the open. Wikid gets picked by Baby Bay. Toby will get the res, but Dante finds Toby. He's going to take that any day of the week. Jayhong under pressure as well, but Fletta's there to end Dante's reign of terror.
Yeah, he had just used his recall. No getting out of that one, but opens up a lot of space for his team. Baby Bay should be able to get in position. Him and Fleta are going to have a battle.
He keeps hitting headshots, but they aren't fully charged.
And also Fleta had his orb on him, the Harmony orb from Zenyatta, keeping him nice and healed up. So you're gonna have to hit a couple of those in quick succession. Baby Bay waiting so that he can get his hacks on. Sees through walls, sees that there's a ambitious Zenyatta looking for the flank.
But you never heard of a flanking Zen?
I died
It's
with
a
like
real
that.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
know
real
it.
thing. And now Jayhong with the volley, not quite going to connect with all the orbs, unfortunately for him. That would have been a tasty kill indeed. Baby Bay, though, under pressure. Will get topped up. Wikid, yet again, a monster tire. Unbelievable how many kills he gets out of tires.
That's been pretty crazy here. Now they have to retreat. They're going to be pushed all the way back. I'll be interested to see if Soul prefers to play this up close. This is a brutal choke point. Once you get a team all the way back here, you can actually afford to die up here and still fight before the progress on the card. So you can give up lives up here. I really like this aggressive forward hold from Soul.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's only half a hold. Yeah, they're going to back out, but...
Oh, that's awkward. Just go for it. And there you go, Zumba. Takes out Baby Bay with the help of Fleta. That's going to be some good teamwork there to start things off for Seoul Dynasty on this defense, and they can't even get in time.
That's it. Wait, do they
get it. They backcapped it. Are you kidding me?
Sorry.
Are you kidding me? We're so distracted by the forward hold by Seoul that the entire time San Francisco pushed the payload through. They can't even believe it. Look at Moth. He's shaking his hands like, what's going on?
Yeah, let's get a replay of that one, because that's, I guess here, let me cover this up. That's the downside of the aggressive forward hold that I didn't like from Seoul at all, that I wasn't a fan of. That if someone does sneak by you, there's no one back there to deal with it. That's something you generally have to worry about when you're playing against, you know, a Soon or someone known for backcaps.
Right?
But
you'd think that Seoul would know. They just played against Valiant.
Yeah,
they got dumpstered by him.
That's pretty rough. I didn't see who got back there. It must have been one of the Tracer players. Sorry, guys, we missed that one. Maybe we can get that on a replay for you, but I completely missed that one, and I think Soul kicking them was a little too. They're taking it lightheartedly.
I'm pretty sure that Seoul, you know, missed that one too.
Yeah, they have 3 minutes more in the bank. I was like, what? Was that the clock?
Yeah, I know. No, you see round 2 completely. Wait a second. All right, then. Well, rinse and repeat. Here we go. Seoul Dynasty, they nearly got the full hold on first point, the first go-around for San Francisco Shock. So now it's just a matter of them not letting their foot come off the gas. Just ending the Shock right here. Shock not wasting any time, though. Dante, it will be on the Genji again. No shenanigans.
Little shenanigans. Well, they're going to take the aggressive defensive here on the corner hold. This is smart too, especially in this type of situation where it's all just about the progress. That is a brutal first kill though. Jayhong down. Is he in a resurrectable position? Maybe trying to win this battle with Fleta. And it's been so twitchy between them. They're not trying to line up shots. It's just been about trying to get the flick.
That's a tough break here because you get, I mean, sure, you manage to get the res off on Jayhong, but then you lose Miro, and that's going to take a long time for that horse to stomp back out to posture.
Yeah, but I mean, Jayhong is going to provide so much in as far as damage and healing that you have to make that trade, and Jayhong is going to be slow to get back to point 2, so that's why you do it. And then they will try to group up here and get behind the shield in the doorway. Huge hook, though, by Fleta.
Hey, Baby Bay couldn't get the job done. Nevix is going to go ahead and step up to the plate. Wikid definitely brought back into this. They need to get more damage onto this point, and there will be the cap coming through for San Francisco Shock. They're going to be out of time. We're into overtime, but they've got 4 points on the board now.
All right, have to stay on the cart.
Yeah, just set up shop. Get a Bastion. Somebody's just never going to leave the cart.
Well, the other thing is, on second point, you want your Bastion to leave the cart. You want your Bastion where Baby Bay is just about.
Not the point, Hex.
Yeah, well, it kind of is.
It's not the point.
Jayhong takes down Dante very early. He got a little too big for his britches and punished by the God Zenyatta player down there. Baby Bay will also fall. 2 quick kills. Soul's going to try to capitalize. They're going to try to dive in on this one as best as possible. Force out Falcon. There goes Super. This one is all about over. This is very likely where the cart will end on Junkertown for San Francisco.
Oh my God, Boss, you just can't kill this guy. Finally, they managed to pull it off. And there we go, overtime burnt out. And it will be 4 points and some good progress there for San Francisco Shock.
You're telling me that Moth Mercy's hard to kill?
So their flamethrowers ran out of fuel. They just couldn't get them. And then all out of candles at the corner store. And a bucket of water.
All right.
Fire.
We're going to get some clarity on what happened with this back cap. We got the replay pulled up. Who got back there?
Oh, man.
It's Dante.
Look at that.
No one the wiser, including us.
Dude, Fleta is the one to realize it, but it's way too late. Way too late.
I love a back cap. I am a huge fan of the back cap. It's a strategy from several different arena shooters. You don't have to look, it's objective-based game. This game's not about kills. You don't win by getting kills. You win by pushing payloads. You win by capturing points.
Dante just reminding us all of that. Soon, a little twinkle in his eye. He had a smile, a nod.
Yeah.
You did well, son. You did well.
You did well. I think it's, yeah, Soon's done it on this map before. Soon's done it on every map, essentially.
Well, that is kind of Soon's calling card.
That is the downside of the aggressive defense that I was praising.
Listen, we're all a fan of the aggressive defense. Just keep one guy at least.
Or just keep an eye on it. I mean, just look at the meter. You know, luckily they weren't looking up at the stadium here, because we've got the payload progress. Progress.
Wait a second.
That's not supposed to be turning orange. All right, that is where the cards stop. 37 meters in after first points. Now Seoul will give it their go-abouts. Much more time to work with. 4 minutes to be exact.
Going back to the J-Hong on the Mei. Wall is it? Not quite. Doesn't quite get it. Still connecting with some icicles. And while they are making progress here to start things off, Dante will be rocking. Oh. One thing is, like, Fleta seems like he's quieted down a little bit in this duel with Baby Bay.
Well, see, that's the thing, is the other sniper keeps you in check, at least, right? You don't necessarily even have to win the duel, but you have to be more careful. Fleta's gonna have to play different angles. He can't just sit wherever he wants and start picking people off. He has to be weary of the opposing Widowmaker, and that's why just picking one or having a semi-competent Widow on your team is always helpful.
Love it. Sleepy finding the off angle there. Wikid definitely not expecting a volley to the face. Gets clipped immediately. We've burnt a minute off the clock here. The Shock doing a great job here on the defense. Now they've set up shop, but Zumba finds the flank on Dante. Baby Bay is gone, and just like that, it could fall apart here for San Francisco Shock on the first point as they go diving in, looking to capitalize.
The stairs of death. Every time there's a Roadhog in the field, he just rotates to the stairs and picks people off. It happens all day, every day on Junkertown. They need to put up a sign.
Oh man, and then you get the Maywall out there, just nobody allowed through that door. Toby with the res on Zumba, keeping him in the fight. Now, will they be able to actually get in here quick enough to challenge? It's not looking likely here for San Francisco Shock.
They're gonna back off, because if they go in here now and they lose, they might lose the entire map. They need to set up in decent position on the high ground on second. But looks for the peak. Oh, finds himself a hook. Nice play, Nevix.
Sick play, Nevix. Mid-air hook. Timing flawless. 2 minutes here for Seoul. They've got the wings ready to go here for Toby. Fleta setting it up so they can see through walls. Ooh!
Yeah, May's a sniper too, just doesn't have a scope. Those icicles do a ton of damage, especially headshot. Try to catch out Super, he's gotta be careful.
Wikid finding these angles right now.
They force Valkyrie.
A couple more nades and he's gonna get that monster riptire going if he wants. He's definitely been getting great results.
They might just wait for Zumba to get back here. There's no reason to throw an ult in a situation like this with 90 seconds left and only about 8 meters to go, 6 meters to go rather. They can afford to just bank ultimates and hope that they get a tire and that's just it. And also, Zuma's gonna be the closeout ult here because he's got Whole Hog. He's gonna push everyone off the cart. Even losing Toby now, they might not go for this, but they're committed. They're pot committed.
They're getting into this, man. Miro, he's hanging on by a thread right now. Wikid, yet again, another kill with the tire. Baby Bay brought back to life. Fleta finds another kill of his own, and they managed to push it through to victory.
It's the zoning. You get the wall, you've got a Whole Hog, you've got concussion mines, and it's just so hard to be able to keep a body on the cart there, especially when the big bodies go down. And back cap or not, Seoul will get a refreshing 4-0 victory for them. Nothing to be sad about, though, for San Francisco Shock. They gave them everything they could handle. And a good performance from them as they continue to improve. It's just a matter of putting the right players in the right field at the right time.
Yeah, breaking even this week, Seoul Dynasty, after getting obliterated by the Valiant 4-0. Now they get a 4-0 of their own. Feeling good about that for sure. And while San Francisco, it's not over yet. A strong start here to stage 3 for them.
room to improve. I think you can't underestimate that it's going to take time for cohesion in an actual game situation. And we talk so much like, hey, there was happy birthday. They're still only 18-year-olds, right? They're just young kids. They're getting ready into it. We'll see what the desk has to say about that matchup.
Thank you so much, Semler and Hex. Once again, big win there for the Seoul Dynasty. Make some noise, Blizzard Arena. Great series to close out the night. And although it was a 4-0, this was a very tight matchup. Let's go to Ilios, where it went all the way to a third round in that final stage. I saw Fleta on the McCree, and that's all I wanted to watch, but both teams took turns trading blows.
Yeah, it was an impressive game, honestly. Despite the fact it being a 4-0, I feel like it's been a while since we've had such a close match between these two teams. But here we are again, and I mean, shock, like Hex was saying just before we closed out that match, you know, this is going to take a bit of time for this team to find their cohesion, find their footing. You know, they've just got this squad that they were originally planning on putting together. It's finally here, and now, you know, they are playing against one of the best teams in the league, as Seoul Dynasty.
And who would have guessed that if you put the lineup that is actually your main lineup, you were going to come out with great results? This is what we wanted to see out of Seoul all along. Now we just have to wait until next week when they'll field a roulette of players that we've never
hey man,
combining before.
We don't know what's
Toby's
happening in all the training rooms and all the practice. They may have seen something we haven't yet on the stage, but we do know this is working. Keep Jae-Hong, keep Toby in the lineup alongside Fleta and Zumba. You seem to have some success. Let's talk game 4 though, Junkertown. I thought this was going to be Seoul stomping out Shock. Shock was able to force that third point. Dante with some sneaky back cap was the highlight of the game for me. But honestly, when you watch Seoul, I love the versatility in the comps they've been using today.
Remember stage 1, it was Jae-Hong that was actually playing a lot of the Mei, and it went so far that teams were even scouting against it and trying to prepare it with his Mei. So it's nice to see that this little tech hero is brought back again. But the Fleta show, as they hit on the cast, he's warmed up against Baby Bay that didn't play a single game. A little bit one-sided.
Baby Bay clutched up against the Gladiators. A tougher test this time around against Fleta.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Fleta, well known for essentially hard carrying Flash looks back in the day as well. This guy is the definition of a hard carry player, so it's a little bit of a difference maker there, maybe. I mean, and it is hard as well. Coming in cold off the back, they call it coming in cold essentially because you haven't had time to warm up. You know, you've been messing around with the hand warmers, but you haven't really had time to play the game. So it is a bit tough. You know, it's pretty tough to come up against one of the best DPSs in the league, right?
We had a really fun time tonight trying to decide who is going to be the player of the match. I wanted it to be Nevix. I thought he played amazing, but he was on the losing team. When it came to the Seoul Dynasty, a lot of names came to the top, but our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP tonight, it's going to the Diva. Zumba takes the honors, Brent.
Woo! Yeah, and I mean, rightfully deserved. The guy flexed over to the Roadhog, not just the Diva, but he had great performances across the board. And I mean, this is the kind of Zumba that I love to see. You know, he's not just known for, as well as, you know, the Zarya gameplay is probably his most, you know, his most legendary role, his most legendary hero. But, you know, whipping it out on the Diva, it's something that we don't really talk about, I think, enough. He sort of slips under the radar quite often, but he is a fantastic player and one of the key pieces for Seoul Dynasty.
One of the most impressive things I saw from Zumba tonight, every time Nevix went for that self-destruct, he was hunting the baby Diva and oftentimes getting the kill before he could remake. Well, that's accuracy.
It is, but Diva's one of those heroes where if you do badly, you still can't really tell who did poorly, and if you do well, you still can't really tell who's doing really well except if you eat ultimate. So it's really nice that we can have these guys get the recognition when they play well.
Awesome. We had a great day here in the Blizzard Arena, and we want to give a big shout out to everyone who came out tonight. We got a special AMA coming up a little bit later. That's going to be Nomi from the Shock, but we're closing out the show with our Stage 3 standings, and we got to remind you what's coming up tomorrow. Remember, Saturday starts bright and early, and the Stage 3 standings here after 3 days of matches. We got the Valiant up top. We've got London, who's sitting at 0-1. New York sitting in the number 2 spot, and Seoul's win tonight keeps them in the running, bouncing back after that loss to LA. Tomorrow, though, it's all coming down to that 5 p.m. matchup, Grump.
Oh. So, I mean, and not just the 5 p.m. Puckett, all day tomorrow. It'll just powerhouse games all.
I mean, I know what my plans are personally. I mean, it's going to be sitting in the arena eating sushi all day while watching all this great Overwatch unfold, because these are going to be some absolute bangers of games ahead of us. Like, that is actually a crazy day of Overwatch.
Houston, Boston, that one's coming up for the middle match. We get it started, though, with Florida Mayhem versus the Philadelphia Fusion. That kicks off 1 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.